Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where in WWE, new and fresh means the same people who've been in power for 20 years are still in power. They're just not assholes anymore. It's Lost in the Midcard. Welcome. Lots to talk about today. We got Final Battle that happened on Friday. We got TLC that happened on Sunday. We have new and fresh Raw and SmackDowns. We'll get into that in a little bit. Which actually, SmackDown still good as always. Raw, still a work in progress, but some promising things there. We'll break into all that, cover the pay-per-views and headlines and being the elite. But first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. What you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard, hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way every Wednesday, and also some select specials on pay-per-views that we may deem worthy. Programming note. Obviously, next week is Christmas. We're going to be off next week. I'm also going to be gone on New Year's Day, so I think we're going to be planning the first show of the new year to be on back on our old night, Thursday, January 3rd, and then we'll go back to Wednesdays after that. So I think Thursday, January 3rd, will be our possibly our next show. We may do one in between. Don't know, but that's why. Hey, subscribe. That way you know when that comes along. You can get those subscription links on our Facebook page, facebook.com/LostInTheMidcard, on our Twitter page at LITMC Podcast, where we also share with you all the great tweets within the wrestling world. I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers. As always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at RawF_Showtime, currently in a headlock with the USB cable. It is Matt Black. Matt, besides being in the headlock, how you doing?
I'm going to freaking kick you in the dick, JB.
Woo!
Nobody needs to know about my technical issues right now.
It's okay. It happens to everybody. Hell, this show's had its share of technical issues. That's for damn sure. So how are you feeling on the fresh and new SmackDown and Raw after an episode of each?
I thought Raw was fine. I thought SmackDown was great. I hope they continue to be as such. But I mean, it's going to take more than 1 week of television to make me feel like everything's fixed and everything's forgiven, and we're truly going to be better now. You have to do consistent work for a long period of time for me to buy that change is really coming.
Yeah, we've all heard that before, right, from old Vinnie Mac. But, we'll have to see. Joining us back on the show, he is on the Twitter at No One Like D. It's Darryl Bullock. Darryl, welcome back. How you doing, man?
I'm fantastic. Long weekend of wrestling.
Oh, man.
Always great.
One of the rare things that you never thought you would hear out of this podcast, Matt, you would agree, somehow, some way, WWE beat Ring of Honor this weekend, didn't they?
I liked TLC as an overall show a lot more than I liked Final Battle. And a week ago, if you would have asked me that, there was really no way I would have said that was a possibility. So kudos to WWE for having a really good 3 days of television.
I mean, if you just threw a dart on the calendar and asked Matt, when's WWE going to be better than Ring of Honor, he would laugh at you probably, and we all would laugh at you probably, but it was amazing. We'll get into a little more of Ring of Honor after we cover Final Battle, which will start right now. We didn't do a poll for Final Battle, but I'll tell you what, we did a poll for we did a Twitter poll for TLC, and definitely was one of the more successful ranking. A lot of A's that you don't normally see from a WWE pay-per-view. So that's definitely promising, right direction. Hopefully they keep that up. But first, Final Battle took place at the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City. There was a pre-show match with the Kingdom, TK and Vinny taking on the Bouncers and the Best Friends. And the Best Friends got the win there. The show itself kicked off showing a video 2 years ago when Cody debuted, kicking Jay Lethal in the Ding Ding. Dalton Castle, crown champion, and then also showed Lethal's ascension back, righting all his wrongs before he got to the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight title. First match of the evening, the young up-and-comer Eli Isom takes on Kenny King. And Matt, what did you see out of the youngster here against Kenny King in the opener?
I thought the match was fine. I mean, this was honestly the only match of the night where they actually led me to believe that they were going one direction and then went to the other. I think the rest of the pay-per-view was extremely predictable, which kind of took away from the overall feel of the show as a whole. But I thought the opening contest was solid.
Yeah, I agree with you. There was some spots there where I thought Isom was going to actually be the winner here, and they kind of pulled a fast one with Kenny King taking it at the end. What did you think of the opener there, Darryl?
It was pretty solid. I mean, I honestly did not think that Kenny King was going to win that match, but obviously they pulled the swerve. But good opening match for what it was.
Of course, Matt said this on the podcast last week. The very first match involving the Elite is probably going to set the tone for the rest of the night, and it did. Jeff Cobb took on Hangman Adam Page, and this was a hell of a match in itself. Many moments where I thought, oh, Hangman's going to win this, and the Elite's swerving us. But in the end, and I thought, let's take nothing away from Jeff Cobb. I thought Jeff Cobb had a hell of a match here. And, of course, Hangman Page is like one of the most breakout stars of 2018 for damn sure. But does the fact that Page lost, does that take anything away from the match for you, or did it kind of? I
enjoyed the match. I enjoyed the match quite a bit. I thought it was a really good match. I thought it was one of the best matches on the show. Mm-hmm. But for me, let's face it, even the most average of ROH fans, so maybe not even a diehard, but the average ROH fans that knows that all the storylines about the Elite leaving and whatnot, and you put one of the three matches that's going to dictate two other matches in the show, what's going to happen, you put that on second. Mm-hmm. I don't know, you're setting kind of a terrible precedent for how the rest of the show is going to go, because you basically just gave away the entire final hour of your show. And I just thought that was a very poorly placed spot in the show, and I feel it did end up hurting the overall feel of the pay-per-view, because you knew it was going to happen before it even happened. And on my wrestling pay-per-views, I really like when they do things that I don't expect. I feel like we got a lot of that from TLC on Sunday. Yeah. And we didn't get any of that from ROH on Friday night.
You could have easily had these three matches go back to back to back to close the show.
Agreed.
These are your titles. You didn't have to put the second. I don't know if that was Ring of Honor trying to be cocky and saying, fuck the Elite. We'll get into that a little more later, too. When we talk.
They were definitely there. They were definitely saying that Saturday night.
Yeah. What were your feelings, Darryl, once you saw Hangman Page go down?
I was kind of with Matt. I knew what was going to happen thereafter, but I mean, I wasn't too ticked off about it because they both put on a great match, and I mean, I would have been happy if Page won, but I just like Jeff Cobb too. I mean, I think with what's going on with the whole Elite thing and their contracts being up, he could be one of the ones to be a real star in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, it's a guy you could build around. He can go from this dark, brooding character Matanza on Lucha Underground, and then you see what you get in Ring of Honor. You get a charismatic, Hawaiian dude basically, but tough as nails and can do a lot of things for being, basically, kind of a Rusev, a super heavyweight. Jeff Cobb is in that mix. Matt, were you going to say something?
I don't have anything bad to say about Jeff Cobb.
No.
I mean, he's definitely worthy of being Ring of Honor television champion. He's a great athlete, and I would certainly believe he will be one of the cornerstones that company leans on going into 2019 and beyond. But it just doesn't change the fact that ROH chose to book this show relatively poorly.
Yeah,
and it is what it is. If you were if you were positive that you weren't getting any of these guys re-signed, I wouldn't have had any of them in title matches on that show.
Well, me and Matt,
you took away all the mystery, or the suspense going into the show with one match second into the card.
Yeah, with no titles on the line, you could have seen things go maybe even 50-50,
Yeah, well, usually what happens with Ring of Honor, and me and Matt discussed it on Saturday, usually what Ring of Honor does, they usually have all the title matches at the ass end of the pay-per-view. So that was weird that was actually the second match.
Yeah,
so,
you almost wonder if they were just trying to tell you something on purpose.
And you might be right.
I don't
you might
want
be
you to
100%
tell me,
right.
I don't want you to tell me anything on a pay-per-view. Let me guess for myself.
Exactly.
I know, but
100% agreed.
It's Ring of Honor making a statement. We don't need you, Elite, though that's probably a dumb statement because...
Yeah, and I think they're going to realize 6 months from now how badly they did need the Elite.
Yep. Did I hear right on being? We'll talk being this week's being an Elite later on the show. Did I hear right? Marty's deal's up this April.
Really?
I have not heard that. Where did you hear that?
I heard that on Being the Elite or something. I thought I heard April on Being the Elite. At what point in the show did you hear it? You need to fact check and have these things ready for us so we can go double check your work. Well, somebody double check it for me so we can talk about it next time. But I
on this week's episode,
I don't know if it was this
leaving the territory.
Yeah, I swear to God, I thought I heard something about April, but
I gotta go back and look at that.
Yeah.
I thought
maybe
that.
I need to go back and look at it too because I did not hear that.
Or I don't know.
I am hitting the internet. I'm going to hit the internet right now.
Hit the internet. It may not have been that. It may have been just something about the Elite. It may not have been Being the Elite because there's just been so much shit with those guys lately. I thought I heard something with April, and that didn't sound right to me because we've been talking all along how he's locked in for a year, but
it wouldn't make no sense for him to his contract to be up in April and
have his own
everything
faction.
Everything that happened this weekend happened.
Yeah.
Hold up.
I
got some information.
What you got?
This is very interesting. This is back August 4th, 2018.
Okay.
Marty Scurll signs contract extension with Ring of Honor.
Oh.
In what could be a very telling sign where talent from ROH and NJPW may be headed soon, Marty Scurll has signed an extension with Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling. The report states that the extension is only for 6 months. Scurll's current deal was set to expire in November. The new deal will now take Scurll through April of 2019 to cover the ROH New Japan event at Madison Square Garden. One would wonder why Scurll would not sign a long-term deal, and the obvious answer will probably be that he is waiting to see what the other Bullet Club members decide to do. It could seem that MSG could be getting ready for another epic curtain call.
So
holy shit!
So I wasn't hallucinating.
So Marty's not far behind.
I was not hallucinating.
Oh, yeah, I'm happy, dude.
I didn't catch that at all.
I was already Dude, Darryl, I got to tell you, I was feeling guilty about leaving Marty behind with me wiping my hands of Ring of Honor, but knowing that Marty is only a couple months away from leaving, and he's not going to have to carry that 50-year-old no-selling piece of shit PCO anymore, I am so fucking happy.
And Matt,
this is great. This is great.
We're paid to April, too. Didn't we buy it at the same time?
Actually, no. Mine cancels out March 7th.
Oh.
I bought it like the week the week
you live
came
15 minutes from me. Just come over to the house and watch it, dude.
That's true. You know what? Okay, you know what? I'm taking you up on that. I'll come watch the Supercard only because it's New Japan.
Yeah,
because it's New Japan. If it was just a Ring of Honor show, I would politely decline. Yeah. I'm coming over to watch the Supercard with you WrestleMania weekend.
That's fine. Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Booyah.
That'll be awesome.
we'll definitely cover that.
Dude, JB, huge kudos to you.
Yeah.
For catching something that me and Darryl didn't do, and upon new homework, breaking that news right here on Lost in the Midcard, because nobody's talking.
No, not at all. I haven't heard anything.
Going for another couple months.
The only thing I could think of that because I really did read much wrestling at work today or anything like that. So the only thing wrestling I could have seen with that was being the Elite. So there's something I caught that was. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to watch. I'm going to have to watch Leaving the Territory again tonight when we're done with the show and figure out what you saw. Damn, I'm excited now. I'm really fucking excited. Like, look, I was annoyed. I was annoyed by my technical difficulties after a great SmackDown, but now I'm excited all over again. The villain on his way to AEW. This is good.
I'll say this.
Good.
I'll say this. For Mario to be leaving when he is, and you got Jeff Cobb, you have Jay Lethal, of course, Dalton Castle, The Kingdom, etc., and Ring of Honor, you're going to have to either bring someone in whose contract is up from WWE that we give a shit about.
Yeah, they're going to have to pick up some scraps.
Or Ring of Honor is not going to be the same company it's been for the past 10 years.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
I mean, they've done.
I don't think Jay Lethal can carry this company just like that. I don't think.
No offense, I love Jay Lethal.
So do I.
But he's done everything.
Exactly. He's done everything there is to do in that company, and it's gotten stale at this point. I think Jay Lethal needs a new, fresh start in something like NXT for me to buy in and fall in love with the Jay Lethal character again. I mean, I feel like I've seen everything he can possibly do in Ring of Honor. He's a big fish in a very small pond there, and if he's comfortable with that, that's fine. But I'd much rather see Jay Lethal in a position in NXT than see him in Ring of Honor right now. And when you're losing Cody, the Bucks, Heyman Page, you're losing Marty in a couple months. You've lost SCU. And God knows who else the Bucks and company have talked to about joining them when their ROH deals are up. You know Flip's going wherever they're going.
Yeah.
When is Flip's contract over with?
He signed a new 2-year deal.
Okay.
Like 4 months ago. And he even made the joke about that on Being the Elite a few weeks ago, the ticking on one of the Young Bucks phones. Flip said, "Hey, I got that too. It says 2 years."
2 years, yeah.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
So he's locked in for another 2 years. I think he signed around August or September. So he's locked in. He's locked in for a while. But you know, as soon as that ROH deal is up for Flip's out the door too.
Mm-hmm.
So our ROH is in a lot of trouble, dude. You wanted the days of Matt Taven being Ring of Honor World Champion.
You got
with
it.
All the talent that they've lost. I think it's a real possibility in 2019 that they're going to put the title on him and see what he can do.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
I'm sure you will, Darryl. God damn.
Dude, how scary is it that 6 months ago we were talking about how big of a presence Ring of Honor could have if they were to keep the Elite and bring in Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, and how we're talking about them now?
Yeah.
A lot has changed in 6 months.
We canceled our Honor Club subscription.
A lot has changed in 6 months.
We canceled our Honor Club subscription, so.
I'm good to the summertime.
I cannot. I can't believe it. I can't believe, Jay Lethal, Shane Strickland, Jay Lethal, Ricochet, Jay Lethal, Adam Cole. The possibilities are endless when he's already done it all in Ring of Honor. But like you said,
gotta write a new chapter in your life, man.
Like you said, Matt, and we've said it on the show many times, maybe he just doesn't want to take that step. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he's not comfortable with it. I don't know.
Only he knows.
I really don't. If he's comfortable just riding out Ring of Honor for the rest of his career, more power to him. But I feel like he's done everything that he could possibly do in Ring of Honor. He's done the heel run. He's done the face run. He's been world champion as a heel and a face. He's held every title in that company at least one time. And he's feuded with everybody. Like, I really don't know what you can do at this point to freshen up Jay Lethal to really make me invest my time into him anymore.
Magnus.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, he showed up. He showed up. Hey.
Dude, dude, when his fucking Tron came on in Philly, did he come out on the stage or something? And
he came
just
out on the stage
away?
and he went to the commentators table.
Okay, because I saw the stupid Tron come up, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to vomit right now.
Yeah,
then he went to another match. I'm like, oh good, he's already gone. So I didn't even see.
Yeah, he went to go shoot the shit for a little bit.
I didn't even have to see his stupid ass. You know what's really fucking funny, Darryl? When I was going to get the nachos that they were sold out of, and I had to get the nasty chicken tenders instead, I swear to God, I saw tenders? Homicide of LAX talking to people over by the concession booth, and I thought I was just crazy. Mike Johnson from PW Insider
he was there
the weekend that Homicide was there, so I did see fucking Homicide at the ECW Arena Saturday.
Yeah,
night.
I saw him in the back when I was at the bar before the show.
Yeah. I didn't know you left.
No, I totally do. I totally forgot because remember I told you when I was over there with my friends or whatnot. Kenny King came out and Joe. Yep. We were talking to Kenny King.
Show me the picture of Kenny.
Yeah, talking to Kenny King, Scorpio Sky, and Joe Koff, and then he walked. Homicide walked. I saw him walking in the back when I was talking to Nick Jackson.
That's crazy. I love Homicide. He's awesome.
Next up on Final Battle, 4-way elimination match for the Women of Honor Championship. Sumi Sakai, Madison Rayne, Karen Q, Kelly Klein. This match, I think the highlight of the match was Mandy Leone on commentary. Matt will agree.
I thought the highlight of the match is when it was finally over.
That too, because
I have nothing good to say about this match.
Finally, a new champion, Kelly Klein, wins, defeating all three women, basically. She eliminated all three women to become the new Ring of Honor champion. So finally, a woman I could care less about, and Sumi Sakai is no longer the champion. At least Kelly Klein, I like her a little better. So, Darryl, what were your thoughts?
That's not really a ring of endorsement, though, is it?
No, not really. What were your thoughts?
With that match right there, like, I think me and Matt agreed on this. They should have put the title on Kelly Klein a long time ago. Nobody wanted to see wrinkle ass Sumi Sakai be the first Ring of Honor Women's Champion.
Yeah. I agree. As much as I'm not a Kelly Klein fan, she should have been the one to win that tournament out of who they put in the finals.
Right, and then eventually, if Tenille didn't get hurt, it should have gone on her. But other than that, like,
agreed.
Yeah, the match was what it was. I just think that months of torture between Wrinkle Ass and Kelly Klein, feuding back and forth to see who's going to take the title or whatnot, was just so overdrawn out.
I 100% agree with you.
So, I mean, I'm happy that cause she like, Matt, I don't know if you know JB, but I like Kelly Klein. I mean, her gimmick is what it is, but the girl works her ass off in the ring and try to be the best she can. And for her to be so young and to get the title, like, it's long overdue now. Somebody needs to take that shit off of her.
She puts in the effort. I'm not taking anything away from her, but I feel like her character, her gimmick is awful, and I hated the ROH shoved her down our throats for like a year and a half. And then when it was finally time for the championship tournament, they had her lose.
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking really? This is when she's losing? She's losing to a 50-year-old woman for the Women of Honor championship? This is the person you just shoved down our throats for a year and a half? I'm just like, no, this is ridiculous. So that's why I cared even less about that match, because honestly, the only person I would have been happy about winning that title in that match would have been Karen Q, and they didn't give it. I think they eliminated her first. So as soon as she was gone, I'm like, yep, I don't care. Moving on.
One of the matches all three of us were looking forward to, Jonathan Gresham taking on the debuting Zack Sabre Jr., and as Matt said on the podcast last week, if Zack wins, he's signed. And Zack won, so possibly another guy that can fill the void for the Elite that is going away. This was a tremendous match. If Gresham wasn't flexible after this match, he definitely was after the way Zack was bending him in the insane ways that he was. I got basically everything I expected in this match. I enjoyed it a lot. Matt, you agree?
I would agree, but I don't think Zack Sabre Jr. in any way, shape, or form fills the hole that the Elite does leaving.
They're trying.
The problem with Zack Sabre Jr., he might be one of the best technically sound wrestlers on the planet right now, but he's about as entertaining character-wise as Lance Storm.
If I can be serious for a moment.
He much like Kelly Klein, their characters are not good. Yeah. Zack Sabre Jr. doesn't really have a character. No. Kelly Klein doesn't really have a character. They need to be fleshed out into more, into gimmicks of characters that people can relate to and actually care about.
Well, you got to remember,
and I think that's the only thing holding back Zack Sabre Jr. from truly being one of the best in the world is the fact that he just does not have a solid character to go along with his amazing in-ring talent.
I think he's kind of getting there, though, thanks to his time in Suzuki-gun. I think he playing that cocky British guy. He's doing it in the ring as well. I can see it. It's not a completely.
It's basic.
Yeah, it's
that's
complete,
my only.
Yeah.
He needs to
anybody
be more
can go in the ring
aggressive
and be
with
a cocky asshole. Cocky asshole to me isn't a gimmick.
Just ask Silas Young.
No, Silas Young has a gimmick. He's the last real man.
That's true.
And he carries himself as such. Silas Young, I give Silas Young a lot of credit for building the gimmick that he's built for himself over the last several years.
Another guy who might be holding the world title this year.
But you know what, though? You got to think about this, though, with Zack Sabre Jr. In the UK, that may appeal to them. In Japan, in Suzuki-gun, that may appeal to them. Unless he's consistently in the US, he has to embrace it and probably get more aggressive. I guarantee the longer he's in the US, maybe wrestling for ROH, he'll get better.
That's a great point. That's a great point, Darryl. I completely agree.
Yeah, I just think that a lot of people haven't seen Zack Sabre Jr. Before, and if they have, the only time they've seen him in the US was in the Cruiserweight tournament.
Yeah, Cruiserweight Classic. Yep.
Yeah. So with that being said, a lot of people are just seeing, okay, who's this Brit? Who's this guy? I don't watch New Japan. I don't watch Rev Pro. I don't watch Progress. I'm just going to check him out and see what he is. And it may not appeal to us.
Great point.
But
I love his in-ring work.
Absolutely.
I absolutely love it. But, I'm not feeling the character yet. Maybe it'll be something that'll grow on me. The only problem is I'm not watching Ring of Honor anymore, so it'll have to grow on me somewhere else.
Like I said, it wasn't there in the Cruiserweight Classic because he was basically a white meat babyface. But I think with his time in Suzuki-gun, it kind of got him a little further.
Yeah.
Obviously, he does need more, but it got him a little further at least. Next up, the fake world champion, Matt Taven.
It's not fake.
I'm not even touching that one.
Taking on Dalton Castle. Well, Hammerstein agreed. They booed the hell out of Taven when he was asked to be announced as the real world champion. But
Hammerstein is stupid people.
A hell of a good match with him and Castle. I was thoroughly entertained. The bangerang off the ring post, that was brutal. A lot of interference, but I think we kind of expected it with the Kingdom.
I legit thought Taven broke his ribs.
Oh,
yeah, that was.
I really did. I did not think we were going to see him on Saturday.
Oh,
I was like, adrenaline's carrying this man through the rest of this match. That dude's got broken ribs.
Oh, over the top rope and landing.
Props to him for not getting injured.
Overshooting, but I think basically he overshot, and ribs first into the steel. It was ugly if you watched it, man. It was insane. Of course, the boys got involved. TK and Vinny got involved. But in the end, like we said, this could be Matt Taven's year next year, and he's well on his way by defeating a former world champion in Dalton Castle. We'll give the floor to Darryl since this is his man. What were your thoughts?
I think it was a solid match. As you guys know, I love Matt Taven.
No, not you.
Well, I put it pretty much solidified, and I hate the booking of Matt Taven to a degree.
Why's that?
Because if you look at the history of Ring of Honor, the Dalton Castles, the Adam Coles, you look at when they put the title on those particular two guys, is because they've been working their ass off in the company to get where they, to eventually get to that point. I feel as though Taven deserves the same right. By especially beating Dalton Castle. I'm tired of Dalton Castle. Like, dude, you're wearing a girdle. Like, chill out, go get healed, and come back later.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna continue in the same spirit of those guys I mentioned prior, just a few minutes ago, then give that man the title. Like, at least he can bring some cockiness and arrogance, and he's getting a fucked up reaction. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Let him have it. And see what, like you said, Matt, see what he can do with it.
Yep. I completely agree. On the subject of Dalton Castle, I'm really annoyed with the booking for him this weekend. You got him basically losing clean to Taven.
Right.
Yet you let him win a 4-way at the tapings to challenge Lethal as the next guy for the World Championship. Why not let one of the other guys who won on the pay-per-view get the title shot first?
Yeah.
Right.
Really, I thought was really fucking stupid, ass backwards booking from Ring of Honor, but I guess I should expect nothing less from Delirious.
I'll say this. Ring of Honor has two more pay-per-views in the beginning of the year. They have 17th anniversary in Vegas in the first week of March, and then they have the Madison Square Garden show.
I think that's why I subscribed when I did, because I wanted the anniversary show for Honor Club.
So I say this: if you don't put Taven in at least one of the title matches in those shows, fuck them, fuck Delirious. And I'm not saying that as a Matt Taven fan. I'm just saying that as a wrestling fan, period. Because that guy deserves it. He's getting a reaction. He's probably the most hated guy on the damn roster. Yeah, outside of what he did.
I mean, Matt and I give you a lot of shit for your love of Matt Taven, but we agree.
He's a great heel.
I've enjoyed Taven since the Kingdom, which when I first started watching Ring of Honor.
Taven would be better on his own.
You think so?
I feel like he would benefit without the Kingdom.
I think he could live without them. I know that much. I think he could survive without them.
I think, honestly, Vinny can survive without him, too. I love his gimmick. Yeah. TK needs to find his own shit, to be honest with you.
Yeah. All three of us predicted Taven to win, and we were right. And yet Dalton Castle's the number one contender. Okay. For a future number one contendership match, it was Skrull and Christopher Daniels. Basically, Daniels' last chance because his contract had ran out. We didn't know exactly what was going to go down, but pretty much after the chicken wing got put on, we know SCU's coming to AEW, aren't they?
Well, I didn't know that at first. I was very certain the entirety of that group was staying with Ring of Honor.
Oh yeah.
Based on the last several weeks' storylines, to realize that they're gone, came as a gigantic shock to me. Over the weekend.
Plus, with the Bully Ray stuff at the end, you kind of figured, he's sticking around for a little while to have a program with Bully.
And the storyline they did at the television tapings made you believe that Daniels was sticking around with Kazarian and Scorpio. So the fact that they're all gone and they're all heading out with the Elite, that was probably my biggest surprise of the entire, I'd say, the last 5 days of pro wrestling would be that SCU is leaving Ring of Honor, which I'm really happy about, because I'm getting their shirt for Christmas, and
SCU.
It's even better now that it's not a Ring of Honor shirt.
So was that solidified at the end of being the Elite then for you? Was that the moment?
I heard Mike Johnson said it on PW Insider over the weekend, and I'm like,
oh, did he?
And I'm not one to doubt Mike Johnson, but when he said that, I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't think you're right this time, Mike, but clearly Mike was right. Mm-hmm. And they're done. And it was absolutely 100% confirmed at the end of being the Elite that they were done too.
Yep. Did you see the tweet by, I don't know if it was Kazarian yesterday
about booking them in 2019?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I love it. I'm all about SCU.
Well, me too.
Being out of ROH.
A tremendous match, I thought. I mean, Jesus Christ, Daniels at near 50 can still go, and he proved it here with Marty Scurll. And
near 50?
Isn't Daniels like 47, 48?
He's 48.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I thought he was early 40s.
No. Yeah, he's 48 years old, dude. Him and AJ are not far from each other.
Yeah.
AJ's not 48.
No, AJ's like 44, 45.
Yeah, Daniels is near 50.
And now you make me look up AJ Styles' age too.
There you go.
Yeah, he's not young.
I thought he was early 40s. I thought they were both early 40s. Yeah, AJ's 41.
Is he? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
But Daniels is 48. That's crazy. That dude, honest to God, Daniels don't look a day over like 30, 35.
Hey, when you take care of yourself, that's how you be.
He's so slick in the ring still, man. He had a hell of a match here with Marty. I loved it. Then, of course, after the match, the fans knew that this was basically it for Daniels, so to speak. And so he saluted the fans, and then in comes Bully Ray to low blow him and shove him onto the floor.
Which led us to the best thing on the entire show.
Bully Ray then calls out Flip Gordon to do this right now. Out comes Flip Gordon through the crowd, dressed in combat fatigues, carrying the American flag.
On a kendo stick.
On a kendo stick. Time for the I Quit match. This was a lot of fun. I was expecting it to be a little more brutal, though. I don't know. And obviously we didn't get to hear those words. Why did they ring the bell and he just said yes?
Because they asked him if he quit and he said yes.
Good enough, I guess. I wanted to hear him say I quit.
No, that's going to be the storyline of contention going forward.
He never said I quit.
Is the fact that he never said I quit. And that's what they're going to use for him going forward.
And granted, it wasn't as brutal as I thought it would be. It was still great because, it's still
the story itself was incredible, and that to me, that's really what made that match was the incredible story that those two told, and in their cast of characters throughout the match as well that helped add to the story as it went along. It took you on a roller coaster of emotions. It's a storyline that's been going on for like 6 to 8 months now. So you got the pinnacle, the conclusion, the finality of that storyline all wrapped up in an amazing match. And everybody that was involved kind of had a part to play from like the course of this storyline. It was really freaking awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
I loved it.
Bully's dick character just being a total dick, basically threatening Kerry Silkin, threatening Bobby Cruz, and getting ready to hit Silkin with a kendo stick, but then CD jumps in and takes the hit, and then Bully grabbing Flip's girlfriend, and we're like, oh no, this isn't how Flip quits. No. And I almost legitimately thought that was going to be how it went down, which would have kind of pissed me off, but instead,
Kerry Silkin to the rescue
with a not so hefty cane shot, but it was enough to distract him. So then Flip's girlfriend low blows Bubba or Bully,
and then we got the most disgusting moment of the entire match. When she made out with the bloody face Flip Gordon.
Yeah.
That was a little too much for me.
Did you see her in the front row? She still had blood on her cheek. She didn't realize she had Flip's blood on her face still after they made out.
I really hope that wasn't his real girlfriend, because she was bland as fuck. Like the whole just boring.
I hope it was, because if it was a plant, She was a terrible fucking actress.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like
I heard that was 100% Flip's girlfriend.
Well, he needs to pay for her to get acting lessons if they're going to put her in a daggone storyline anytime soon.
I think that was a one-time thing. I don't think she's coming in to actually be a character for Ring of Honor going forward.
Thank God.
Did you guys see the picture going around that Flip put up over the weekend?
No.
And it was. I'm gonna find it for you guys. I'll send it to you. But it was like when you attend a wrestling show and you find out that Roman Reigns isn't on it, and it's a picture of his girlfriend being like all disappointed.
Wow.
And he's like, "Who made this?" It's fun. It's funny as fuck. As soon as I find it, I will retweet the tweet from Flip Gordon, and I will DM it to you guys as we're recording here.
Well, the party I was at, we noticed this girl in the front row, and she looked bored as fuck. We're like, "What's this hot chick doing in the front row?" She doesn't look excited at all to be there because she was sitting there the entire time before this match, and yeah,
which is good. I hate when they take the plant,
yeah,
and they just put them in for that match, and like you weren't there. You weren't there for that. I hate when they do that. So actually, I appreciate that. I'm going through Flip's timeline right now. I'm gonna find it. Because it is, there it is. All right, I'm retweeting this to Lost in the Midcard right now, and I'm going to send it to you guys on the DM because it's funny as fuck.
And
later you
guys
on, should have it now.
Later on in the match, there it is. That's about how she looked the whole time too.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
Look, sometimes you're just not a fan of the profession that your boyfriend or girlfriend do.
Yeah. And
clearly she's not a big wrestling fan.
Oh, you're gonna go roll around with those guys in tights again, huh? Okay, honey. Silas Young hits the ring and sets up a table and puts lighter fluid on it. They were teasing that Flip was going to get put through a burning table, but Colt Cabana comes out of the broadcast table to make the save, as Matt said. Again, everybody that was involved in this storyline. Lights went out, and there was Sandman with a cane, and he beats the shit out of Silas Young. Flip hits a series of super kicks and the Star-Spangled Stunner. Sandman hands him the cane, and he goes to town on Bully Ray, and finally the ref asks him after several shots, does he quit? And Bully says yes. He never said I quit, but he says yes. End of the match. Flip Gordon gets the win. It was very entertaining, though, wasn't it, guys?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, like I said, it was legitimately my favorite thing on the show. I absolutely loved it. I thought it told an amazing story. It took me on a journey. I was invested. I was on the edge of my seat, and I felt we got a great payoff to probably the best Ring of Honor storyline of the entire year.
Next up for the ROH Championship, Jay Lethal takes on Cody. This match was noteworthy for the great.
Hated it.
This match was noteworthy for the great form that Brandy had on that spear that she laid out Cody with. That was a great spear.
Spear.
Why did you hate the match, Matt?
I don't like anything where the creative of a company tries to dictate to you as a crowd how you're going to react right as the match is beginning. And that's exactly what they did with Cody and Lethal on the microphones. That took me out of it. That took me out of it immediately. And then I felt that they overbooked the ever-loving shit out of this match. Instead of just giving us a great match, like this felt like a 1999-2000 WCW main event where it was just overbooked the hell and back Vince Russo style.
Yeah.
And I absolutely hated it.
Yeah,
this was hands down the worst thing on the show.
The Hangman Page interference was so random to me. Granted, I mean, we know the ties and shit, but just him showing up, that was just so weird. And then, of course, your boy Magnus shows up at the end, too. Teasing, making Matt even...
Make me want to puke.
Making Matt hit that cancel button quicker than a A hiccup.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, if Magnus is fucking part of Ring of Honor in 2019, that's all the reason in the world I need not to be watching their product anymore.
Darryl, what were your thoughts on the championship match?
The only thing I liked about it was Cody dressed up as Solid Snake. That's it.
That was great. And like I said, I liked Brandy's spear on Cody. That was great.
It was just all over the place. Like, we know what Cody is. Like, he came out being a dick and pretty much telling the crowd, okay, you should root for Jay Lethal and not me. Okay, don't tell me what to do. I want to realize. I want to figure the shit out my goddamn self.
Exactly. Don't tell me who to cheer and boo. I hate shit like that. That kind of stuff agitates me. You know.
That's it. That's a major part of being a wrestling fan. You cheer for who you want to cheer for. You're a fan of who you want to be a fan for, and you try to predict the match. Don't tell me who you think is going to win. Don't tell me who to cheer for. None of that shit.
Then at the end of the night, holy fuck, Ladder Wars. I mean, basically when you say Ladder Wars, holy fuck is in the same sentence. The Briscoes got Crimson Masked. This is just insane. I mean, if you've ever seen anything like this in Ring of Honor, you know, it was entertaining, I thought. And it was pretty obvious now that we know what we know who was going to win, right?
Pretty much.
This was kind of a surprise to me. I expected SCU to retain.
Me too.
But now knowing that they weren't staying, of course they weren't retaining. So
props to the Briscoes, though. Briscoes joining the 10-time club, becoming Ring of Honor Tag Champions for the 10th time in their illustrious careers. Darryl, what'd you think of the main event?
I already knew it was going to be crazy because Ladder Wars for Ring of Honor is always an awesome match. I was just pissed off at the outcome. Yeah. I mean, it could have been better. I liked how they booked. I liked how the ending was done with the chair getting thrown at I don't know if it was Nick or Matt on the ladder. I loved how the ending was done. I thought that was a creative end to the match. At the end of that match, not Matt, but Nick took a nasty bump on that table.
Yeah, it looked like
I thought he was seriously hurt.
It looked like he went like chin first into that fucker.
He said he was fine Saturday when I asked him. He said he was just a little sore.
He worked the dark match.
Yeah, it looked like it looked like he face planted into this. Wasn't there two tables set up side by side?
Yeah,
he totally obliterated the near table, but that second one, it looked like he face planted it.
Yeah, the first thing I asked him, like, dude, you okay? You took a nasty bump at the end of the match. He's like, I'm just a little sore. And I'm like, God damn, you like almost killed yourself.
Yeah. For a company that treated them like shit on the way out the door.
Yeah,
and their fans for that matter.
Let's speak about that since we're done with Final Battle. First off, let's give final grades. I'm going to give it a solid B, which, you know, is probably underwhelming for Ring of Honor pay-per-views, so to speak. It wasn't fantastic, but I think it was a great evening of action. Booking was a little off. The only true dud, in my opinion, was really the women's match. I enjoyed almost every match on the card. Not once I knew what we got, so I gave it a B.
I would go B, teetering on a B-. I wouldn't go any lower than that. It just, I have certain expectations for Ring of Honor pay-per-views, and I don't feel this show lived up to my expectations at all.
The one thing about Ring of Honor pay-per-views that you always can look forward to, as you've seen in the past, that their talent are going to go all the way out to make sure that the product is great. And then the booking, it may not be the greatest at times, but the matches supersede the booking.
Truth.
I'm going to give it a B because although the ones that we wanted to win or we thought should have won kind of messed our heads up with the booking, I do think that the Zack Sabre Jr., the pure wrestling match, the story that Bully Ray and Flip told, and Jeff Cobb and Adam Page, I think that they pretty much did it. And if those matches weren't what they were, then that whole pay-per-view would have been just shit.
Dude, if you take those 3 matches out of this show, yikes! I might drop my grade down from B to a D.
I would have went to a damn straight F.
But I'll tell you,
I couldn't give it an F because Ladder Wars was still there.
Yeah.
But if you took out those others, if you took out Cobb and Page, you took out Sabre, Gresham, and you took out Bully and Flip, I would have to drop this thing right down to a D. And the only reason I couldn't give it an F is because I couldn't give an F to a card that Ladder Wars on it.
Yeah. 2 nights later, WWE TLC from San Jose, California, the SAP Center.
Thought we were talking about.
Oh yeah. My bad. The very next night,
they're not getting off the hook, pal.
I know.
I'm not done with Ring of Honor yet.
Is this a shoot?
I'm not.
Oh, this is a shoot, brother.
I was not trying to dance around it. I was just looking at the next thing on my computer screen, and I knew you wouldn't let me forget. So let's set that up. The next night in Philadelphia, television tapings for After Final Battle happened at the 2300 Arena, ECW Arena in Philly. Matt, Darryl took the trip to Philly to watch those television tapings. Matt, I guess let's just kick it up. Before we talk about like the tapings as a whole, let's just talk about what pissed you off.
All right. Do you want to start, Darryl? Do you want me to
I'll start. I'll say the best for last.
I feel like okay, fair enough.
There you go.
First of all, I was pissed off because they didn't have any more nachos. Let's get a little off the subject right now.
We were both upset that we missed out on the freaking nachos. I should have bought my nachos at the beginning. I didn't buy my nachos.
Same here.
What was the nachos? They were gone.
I get the message from Matt. Hey, no more nachos. I was pissed for the rest of the show.
I had a good line for Matt, but I can't remember what it was now. If it was something, he would have gotten nachos.
What was it? Damn it.
The reason why I took the particular trip because it was going to be the last.
It was a
showing.
Farewell.
Farewell to the Elite, and
and that's why. And honestly, Darryl, that's how that I was convinced to come as well, because I wanted to pay my respects and see the Elite off. And I thought was going to be a very respectful manner.
Now, I will say this. Me and Matt both have different opinions on how things went. To a degree. The environment that we were in the ECW arena. So the aftermath of the farewell, it was kind of, I can't think of it, for lack of better terms. I mean, it was perfect for the setting. Now, I say that because the way Bully Ray, Silas, Shane, and the Briscoes handled things, you would thought you were in an ECW show. So that's why I say what I say. That's why I say what I say as far as our difference in opinion. But as far as how they went out with the Elite, it was stupid as hell. Why?
Bullshit.
Yeah, you would think, okay, these guys have put
explain what happened at the end.
So, it was a 4-man tag. So originally, in the beginning of the show, the Elite come out and they say, okay, we're going to wrestle our last match, and we're going to do a 8-man tag. So each member of the Elite picked somebody to who they wanted to face and who they wanted on the opposite team. So I think it was Matt Jackson. Matt Jackson picked I can't remember Matt.
They picked the best friend. The Bucks picked the best friends.
They picked the best friends. Paige picked Jay Lethal. And they forced Cody to pick Flip. So you had Elite against Flip, Jay Lethal, and the best friends.
And it was a great segment that left me with a big smile on my face.
Yes.
I really enjoyed that opening vignette to set the stage for the evening, as it were, in the historic ECW arena, which
Absolutely.
I really loved. I really loved that venue, by the way.
That was your first time there, right, Matt?
My first time there. I really loved that venue.
Yeah, he was like a kid in a candy store, to be honest with you. It was funny. But, you get to the end of the match, and this match was only exclusive for Honor Club members, which Matt and JB have canceled.
We still have it though, till April. April here.
So I mean, the match was solid. You know, you can.
Yeah, I enjoyed the match.
It was. You got what you expected. You know what I mean? And at the end of the match, all 8 guys hugged it out, and the mic was with Matt Jackson. Next thing you know, you see Bully Ray come out with Silas, and
the Briscoes.
Here come the Briscoes. Here comes Shane, whatever the hell his last name, can't think right now.
Taylor?
But they all come
Shane Taylor.
Yeah,
Honest to God, I forgot he was even involved.
Yeah, they literally like beat the shit out of everybody, and you would think that something's going to happen afterward. Maybe Marty was going to come out or whatever, but I don't think you saw this though, Matt. I knew that it was going to be complete bullshit when I looked back and I saw Matt Jackson helping Paige up off the stage, and they're still beating up Jay Lethal. So
I did not see that. I did not have a good vantage point of the stage.
Yeah, it was still early in the run-in, and
so so Paige and Matt got the fuck out of there.
Pretty much, and then actually they were second because Brandy escorted Flip out, I believe, or she escorted somebody else.
What about did Cody and Nick stay?
Cody was one of the last people to. Cody was one of the last one to leave. The only one that was still in the ring were Lethal and I forgot who else. But it was a real shit show, and the reason why I said what I said earlier, as far as like the environment of ECW Arena, those 4 guys, the Briscoes, Shane, I don't want to call him Shane Thorne, but Shane Taylor and Bully Ray were getting in the fans' faces like straight up ECW style from back in the day. And
and honest to God, that shit doesn't fly in 2018.
No, not
because the fans aren't stupid anymore to be dumb enough to jump the rails and get themselves in trouble in this day and age of professional wrestling.
Right.
Bully even went around the ring and tried to yell at somebody to hit him, and the fan told him, "No, you hit me." And Bully's like, "Why? So you can sue me?" I'm like, "You're damn right, you dumbass. Nobody in 2018 is going to be dumb enough to hit a shot at you without you hitting them first."
Right. And so, with that being said, I'll pass it off to Mr. Matt Black.
Dude, this was an absolute shit show. Because not only the beatdown was dumb, because it was completely disrespectful to all the fans that came to that show that night to see the Elite off. They completely spit on the fans, like literally. As I know, I saw the Briscoes spitting on people. And they took the microphones, and not only was the beatdown annoying enough, they started antagonizing the crowd to the point where Jay Briscoe told everybody in attendance that a Ring of Honor doesn't need any of us and that they can lick his balls.
Mm-hmm. To
which I replied that he was a chicken fucker, told him that no other organization wanted him, and to get the fuck out of the ring. And that's a shoot. But you know, honest to God, dude, it was one of the most disrespectful segments I've ever experienced live at a pro wrestling event, and I've been to a ton of pro wrestling throughout the course of my life. And you know what, honest to God, if this would have been the Elite's idea, and the Elite's like, we want to put over these guys on our way out the door, and we're doing this as a favor to Ring of Honor, would have been one thing. It still would have annoyed me a bit. But if that was their wishes, I would have got it, and I understood it. Somebody asked Matt Jackson on Twitter over the weekend about what happened because they were also in attendance. Matt replied to them and said, "Not our call. I'm sorry. Thank you for coming."
No,
which,
I saw that.
You know, Matt's being is absolutely as classy as he possibly can be. But ROH basically said, "Fuck you guys. You're leaving us. We're going to treat you like shit on your way out the door." And to me, that's absolutely mind-blowing, because what if AEW doesn't go well? Well, you know, what if this doesn't work out? What if the Jaguar owner decides he doesn't want to spend the money on it anymore, and these guys are looking for somewhere to go back to work? Do you think the first place they're going to think to go back to is Ring of Honor after the way they treated them on the way out? I wouldn't.
Well, I'd
be looking at Impact before I look back to Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
They might take that offer up with H.
Yeah, exactly. You know, there's a chance they might go to WWE after this now instead of going back to Ring of Honor. We don't know how AEW is going to do. We don't know the future. But let's say the future, it doesn't go as planned and it doesn't pan out. And they could have had an easy entrance to go back to Ring of Honor. You know, if the company would have let them go out the right way after everything that these men have done for that company, to treat them with that disrespect, and on top of it, to treat the fans in attendance with the disrespect that came to see them off.
Yeah, and it's something that wasn't even televised, though it's going to be fodder for their television going forward, but it was not televised.
Dude, it was so bad to the point I even think ROH management decided that they took it too far. They cut Bully and Jay Briscoe's mics, and they kept doing the beatdown, and then like 2 minutes later, they shut the lights off on them.
Yeah, they did. They were like, show's over, wrap that shit up.
Yeah, seriously, it went too far. And I honestly, as a fan of the Elite and as a fan of Ring of Honor, I legitimately felt like Ring of Honor took their big fist and slapped me across the face. And I felt disrespected, and I was very pissed off leaving that venue that night. And you know, that's, like I said, it came home. You canceled Honor Club, JB. I canceled my Honor Club. I don't feel like putting money into a company that, you know, not only treats their talents that way, but treats their fans that way as well. Because they needed to think big picture. This was bigger than just, you know, kicking the Elite when they were down on their way out the door. They kicked the fans too.
Yeah.
And they don't, and I don't really think they got that or they understood that, and I hope they figure it out long term. That they made a huge mistake Saturday night in the ECW arena.
I will touch on this real quick before we move on to the next topic. Based on what I saw, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, and if you would agree, based on what I've seen at the TV tapings as well as Final Battle, with Zack Sabre Jr. and even with Juice Robinson, Roosh, and I think it was somebody else I can't remember off the top of my head.
Oh, fuck.
But
they need to change the way that man's name's spelled. I swear to God, I thought it was Rush.
Nah, it's Roosh.
And then the whole time they were just like Roosh, and I'm like, what?
Do you think that they're going to try to put their money into bringing the stars from New Japan and CMLL, the companies that they have a collaboration with, to try to boost up, keep their ratings up?
Well, they're going to have to. I don't really think they have much of a choice at this point.
Well, and that's the problem. Like, most of that popularity of New Japan was the Elite.
Yeah, and that in their final shows, what, Wrestle Kingdom?
Yeah.
I'm curious if they're going to have to start. I'm curious if they're going to start booking the Bullet Club.
Well,
they're not going to have a choice but to start bringing in Tama and and the Gorillas of Destiny and Bad Luck Fale and all them. I'm really curious if Ring of Honor starts booking those guys going forward.
You saw this. Well, Matt saw the speech that my twin Juice Robinson gave, talking about 2019. He said pretty much Ring of Honor is a company that he can come back. Yeah, he can get behind. So Juice is with oh my God, Taguchi.
Yeah.
And then you bring a Suzuki-gun with Zack Sabre, and then you're bringing Los Ingobernables with Roosh. So that kind of stuck out to me as just a tad bit of them, trying to bring the company. That's going to be their feeding point, is probably try to make the company bigger or try to keep it standing.
Yeah, but at the same time, New Japan has that same problem that Ring of Honor is going to have. Are they going to be able to maintain without the core there? I mean, obviously, they're probably better set up than Ring of Honor, but at the same time, they've got the same problem.
I think they'll be okay with. I think they'll be fine. Their problem is going to be with them trying to bring New Japan to the U.S. That's going to be the problem there. I think they'll be fine in their own country. Mm-hmm. Because I think that they were good without the Bullet Club, without the Elite.
Yeah, I'm just talking as a wrestling juggernaut around the world. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely. Like I said, when they're trying to bring them over to the U.S., you were trying to bring them over to the U.S. with with the Elite and the Bullet Club. Yeah. Now you only have the Bullet Club. What's going to happen now? I don't think Okada or Guerrillas of Destiny can carry your company over into the U.S.
And on top of that, the Bullet Club stock is as low as it's ever been with the Elite leaving. So,
pretty much.
Is Jay White really the leader of the Bullet Club now?
That's what was told.
Which I absolutely hate that, by the way. I'm not a Jay White fan.
Either am I.
And as soon as they put Jay White in the Bullet Club firing squad, or I guess they're just called the Bullet Club now because they don't have to deal with the two separate iterations. But as soon as I saw that Jay White was there, I'm like, yeah, I'm not Bullet Club anymore.
If you wanted to sell me on that, if you want to sell me on a Bullet Club, you should have put Tom as the leader. That's all I'm saying.
OG.
Pretty much. Not boring ass Jay White with a fucking rocket strapped to his ass trying to feed us bullshit. No, I'm good.
Well, gentlemen, anything else you'd like to say about Philly Saturday night?
It's always
W Arena.
Yeah, I always have a good time with Matt when we go to wrestling shows. I mean, that's what it was. We wanted to see the Elite. We didn't get to see everything we wanted, but I will say this: I hope that these guys go do their thing with AEW and blow Ring of Honor out the water.
Yeah, exactly. And then I guess the next time Lost the Midcard's going to be live somewhere. I just found out, confirmed, going to the Royal Rumble. Been talking about it, but confirmed. Got tickets for TakeOver today. In the nosebleed at Talking Stick, but I'm by the ramp, so I think I'll be all right. I was at the nosebleed for the other for Dallas, so.
Oh, you sitting up with the Lord?
Yeah, I might be. help me, Jesus! I love it. Tickets were $20 each.
Oh, nice.
That's not bad.
Nice.
That's not bad at all.
Oh wait, hold up. Tickets are $20 each.
Hold up.
So 20 times 2 is 40, right?
And then $50 of processing fees, thanks to Ticketmaster.
There it is.
Yeah, total price $72.
Yeah, fuck Ticketmaster, dude.
Hold up. 2
bastards.
tickets were $20 a piece. That's $40. So you had $32 in fucking fees.
Yeah, there's like $9 each on the service fee. There's a $5 arena fee, and then an online fee or some bullshit too.
Do you get some type of sexual favor or something with that too?
I hope so.
Dude, when I bought my ticket to Best in the World at the UMBC Center, it was $50, and by the time I was done, it was like 80 something with all fucking Ticketmaster's fees and shit. I'm like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, and I checked StubHub, and StubHub has fees too, but their cheapest ticket was $40 single. So I think
probably still cheaper after the fees, though.
Pretty much.
But you probably could have gotten off StubHub with cheaper overall.
StubHub has pretty shit fees too, though. Don't get me wrong. I know that firsthand too.
They didn't used to have that though. It used to be a flat out rate.
Yeah,
now shit happens.
Yeah, it's shit.
Yeah, I don't like it. Sir, I don't like
it. No idea where I'm sitting at Chase Field. Girlfriend got those for Christmas, so that'll be a surprise.
Yeah, that's cool as shit, dude. You should be thrilled.
It's a bucket list thing, and the Rumble's always been my favorite pay-per-view on the calendar, so. When I heard it was going to be in Phoenix, we already got lodging there with her aunt. So,
is this your first Rumble?
Yeah.
I went last year, dude. You're gonna have a ball.
Yeah, I've only ever been to one Royal Rumble.
I mean,
and that was the one Batista won.
This is my
CM Punk's last WWE match.
This is my third ever pay-per-view. So
okay.
First one was with Matt when I met Matt in 2011 SummerSlam. And then second one was Dallas 2 years ago, WrestleMania. So this will be my third ever pay-per-view. But yeah, it was a perfect storm because you don't have to pay for hotel or anything, and
that's nice, dude.
Yeah, so I thought it was a perfect storm and good opportunity, and didn't know for sure it was going to happen, but now it's booked and locked in. So looking forward to it. But before we get there, WWE Tables, Ladders, Chairs from the SAP Center in San Jose, California. 2 matches on the pre-show, which were the Cruiserweights getting jobbed again. Gee, thanks. And so Buddy Murphy retains against Cedric Alexander there. And then Elias defeated Bobby Lashley in a ladder match where the winner got the guitar. Decent match. Cool that Elias got over. Granted, Lashley got his heat back afterwards, but hey, cool that Elias got over at least. Like Matt said to me and to you probably too, Darryl, they probably could have put that ladder match in on the main show with Ambrose and Rollins, but we'll get to that in a minute. Mixed Match Challenge kicked off the show because they wanted to brag that a pay-per-view is on Facebook Watch for the first time. And the Fabulous Truth took on Jinder Mahal, Alicia Fox. Only went about 6 minutes. Predictably, everybody loves that dance break. So R-Truth and Carmella get the win, and each one of them will enter the Rumble at number 30 and probably be tossed out a minute later.
The number 30 spot has never meant less.
Dance break.
I hated that stipulation just for the sole fact that a lot of times 30 has a lot of intrigue and surprise. A lot of times, let me back up. It gives the WWE an opportunity to give us intrigue and surprise.
Like Roman Reigns?
Like Rey Mysterio. He got booed. That wasn't Daniel Bryan.
I was there. That was the Rumble I was at. We were not happy.
John Cena coming out in 2008 in MSG, that was a oh fuck moment because none of us thought he was going to be healthy that quick. So there's been good 30 moments, but yeah. So I thought it was cool that they put something on it, but at the same time, Mixed Match Challenge meant a lot less this time around. Just wasn't as interesting. Everybody got hurt. Everybody got sick. Teams constantly changed.
It's only relevant for the Women's Rumble.
Yeah.
Not the men's.
Yeah, and granted, Carmella's not going to be in the title picture anytime soon, but I don't know. Part of me thinks Charlotte's going to win the Rumble and challenge Asuka. Is my gut feeling, unless Becky Lynch wins and they do it that way. I don't know.
I think Becky's winning the Rumble and she's going to challenge Ronda.
That'll be her way.
For my understanding, it's going to be Charlotte and Ronda at the Rumble. Yeah. I don't know how they're going to get there, but that's what I'm hearing. And and Becky's going to get the shot at Ronda at WrestleMania.
Well, Matt,
that's what I've heard.
It's a new, fresh WWE. The McMahons will give the people what they want, so they'll just make the match.
Vince basically blatantly told Becky and Charlotte tonight on SmackDown, if you got a problem with Ronda, go after her.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like.
Vince is basically open the
brand split, pal.
Open the door on Monday night.
Pretty much, show your ass up on the next live Monday Night Raw.
But yeah. Hey, good for Truth and Carmella. They're entertaining as fuck. So happy for them to win that Mixed Match Challenge and get that all expenses paid trip to Stamford, Connecticut. Triple threat for the SmackDown tag titles. This would have been great on a ladder match too. The Bar, the New Day, the Usos. We all know this was good. It was good. No surprise with these three teams. But of course the Bar comes out on top. Anything to say there, guys, on this one?
Oh, it was cool with me. At first I wanted it to be a TLC match, but they proved that they didn't need it.
No, it was a great match. It was highly entertaining for sure. Next up is Baron Corbin getting ready to serve some dinner at TGA Fridays. The referee for the TLC match is Heath Slater. Corbin, cocky, has a big smile on his face because, he doesn't think Braun Strowman's going to be there. He's about the only one in the arena that didn't know Braun Strowman was going to be there, I guess. So Corbin has Slater count to 10, but once Slater got up to about 6 or 7, there's Strowman's music, and the smile was wiped off of the face of Baron Corbin. And Strowman said, hey, you're kind of an idiot because this is a TLC match, and you know what that means? There's no disqualifications. So how come Apollo Crews, Gable, and Rude, your new tag champs? And they all took their turns beating the shit out of Corbin, and Heath Slater took off the ref shirt and even got a punch in as well. Corbin tried to escape up the ramp, but lo and behold, Kurt Angle's music hits. Big pop for Kurt Angle coming down and forcing Corbin back into the ring as they beat the shit out of him some more. Balor also had joined in the action, hit a coup de grace before and Angle hit the Angle slam. Slater put on his referee shirt, and Strowman with 1 foot pins Baron Corbin to end his tyranny as Raw General Manager. I'll tell you what, Matt, this was, this was an angle, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed this segment. You?
I never get tired of watching Baron Corbin get beat up. So, no, to me it was entertaining. I didn't have a problem with it at all.
Darryl, what were your thoughts on the segment here?
I laughed my damn ass off.
It was fun. Everybody got
it was fun. I mean, the build up to it, and I appreciated how they did it on Raw. Even though the Raw's ratings were crappy, I appreciated how they built it up, because you saw it was so satisfying to see Baron Corbin get his ass whooped.
We were so tired of what they were doing.
Pretty much.
Next up was a tables match between Natalya and Ruby Riott. I was not interested in this match, to say the least, but when the match happened, I thought both women really worked well, worked their asses off. It may have went a little too long, but overall, I thought they did a very good job. For an angle I didn't really care about as much. It wasn't invested in as much. I thought it was a little overkill to use Anvil's death, but obviously Natalya had to give it the okay. But I'll tell you what, I thought it was a well-worked match, and it was entertaining for what it was. Darryl, what did you think?
It was good. I mean, we pretty much predicted the outcome of it, so we knew it was going to happen based on the storyline. I think.
Yeah, dumped up JB over here. Picked Ruby Riott to win.
Yeah, I picked Ruby. Vince doesn't give a shit about people dying. Come on.
I mean, I think it was pretty good. I mean, it was what it was. It wasn't like a 5-star match or nothing, but it was good. It was good for what it was.
Yeah, it was fun. Matt, what'd you think of the tables match?
I look, much like the Baron Corbin thing. I thought it had the perfect payoff to what they built it up to be. You don't do that kind of stuff with Natty's dad like that and have it not it not pay off for them at the end. I mean, that would have been, to me, utter bullshit.
Well, I kept telling myself it's Vince booking, so I figured Ruby was going to win. No happy ending, but I was happy with the way it turned out, though. I mean, I was perfectly fine with it, but I just was predicting Vince not going that route. Finn Balor, Drew McIntyre. This one went about 12 minutes. I guess the biggest surprise was that Ziggler showed up again and cost McIntyre to lose again. I guess. I mean, it was good. I mean, these are great wrestlers, no doubt about it. Obviously, this was another thing I don't think none of us were excited about. But Matt, what were your overall thoughts on this?
I was surprised by the outcome.
Yeah.
Which I appreciated. Like I said, the TLC definitely did some things I did not expect.
Because we figured they were strapping the rocket up Drew's ass.
Yeah, on there. And look, and they still are. I mean, both losses Drew has had. In the last couple weeks, he's been extremely protected. In these losses, so it's not like. It's not like he doesn't have the Rock. I still think the Rocket's firmly planted up his behind.
Because isn't it next week on Raw, the triple threat match? Drew?
Yeah, well, I already knew who wins that. I'm not going to freaking spoil it.
No, I wasn't going to spoil it. I haven't seen the results, so I'm just going to assume Drew is going to destroy them both and come out on top. But that's just.
I'm going to tell you, you're assuming wrong. So.
Whoa, okay. Well, interesting.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold off on spoilers. Yeah, if people that don't know.
I mean, really, dude, you really have nothing else to do Christmas Eve but sit there and watch Raw?
I'll be out of town.
See, all the more reason to just read the spoilers.
I guess. Yeah, you're right.
Read
for those
the
that don't
spoilers.
For those that don't know, they were on the West Coast, so they did basically 2 hours, no commercials. Filmed Raw in about 2 hours for next week, right after this week's Raw. So, Darryl, what were your thoughts on the whole Balor?
They're also taping SmackDown right now as well for the Christmas SmackDown next week as well. So, both shows are getting that double up taping this week.
Yeah. Plus, I might as well read the spoilers because we're not doing a show next week.
That is true. We are not.
What did you think of that match, Darryl?
I did not expect Balor to win.
No, none of us did. We all picked McIntyre, didn't we?
I
I'm
was
pretty
watching.
sure.
I was watching the match back and forth with the Eagles game and flicked at the Eagles game. Next thing you know, Balor's winning. I'm like, what the fuck?
It was very surprising.
Yeah, threw me off a little bit.
Probably the least. Go ahead.
I actually appreciated it.
Yeah, like Matt said, anytime they swerve us, I'm glad to be wrong. Anytime in my predictions, I'm glad to be wrong because that means they're switching things up. Probably the least match that we were least looking forward to on the SmackDown side, Chair's match between Mysterio and Orton. Just because Chair's match plus this feud we've seen a long time ago. I'll tell you what, though. Rey Mysterio using that chair as a sled and sliding out of the ring was fucking great, wasn't it?
It was crazy.
Yeah, it was.
Outside of that, nothing really clicked for me here. You guys?
Nah. I honestly, this match right here, was my little break. But I went back and watched it. I've seen Mysterio and Orton too many times.
Yeah, Chair's matches are the low end of the totem pole on TLC, aren't they? They're just not as exciting.
They were literally lost in the mid-card.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. And then Finn Balor was interviewed by Charlie Caruso and Ziggler attacks because they didn't agree on things, and so much for Ziggler for being a face. Which is
look. To me, this was part of the dumb booking of WWE that annoys me.
Yeah.
Finn came out and held Dolph 2 weeks ago,
and Dolph paid him back.
So the fact that Finn was questioning why Dolph interfered in this match, I'm like, dude, you just did the same fucking thing yourself 2 weeks ago. Why are you upset? You know, that was honestly, out of anything on TLC, that was the only thing that really irked me, because that was stupidity. And
I must have been getting a beer at that time or something, because I totally missed that segment, because I was like, oh, Dolph attacked him? What? Next up, Raw Women's Championship, Ronda Rousey against Nia Jax. Face breaking aside,
it should have been a squash.
Yeah, but at the same time, I thought it was a good match, and just like their previous match, these girls work well together. I thought it was, we'll put everything with Jax aside, just look at the match in itself, and I thought it was another very solid match between these two. Darryl, do you agree?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I always like the evolution of Ronda in the ring. She's getting better and better and better.
So good. I'm so happy to see that too.
Yeah, every time Ronda gets in the ring, she's better than the time she was before, and she's learning at a rate which is unprecedented for any pro wrestler ever. I mean, you also need to keep in mind, everybody says how quickly Kurt picked it up, and Kurt did pick it up incredibly quick.
But he's a wrestler.
Kurt was wrestling dark matches for WWE for a year before they even put that dude on TV. So
plus, he's a wrestler by trade. So
yeah, but did you pay attention?
It's crazy.
Did you pay attention to the ring psychology when she kissed Nia's hand in front of Tamina?
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, loved it. One of my favorite parts of the show, Nia Jax walking backstage, and Charlie asks her a question, and Jax ignores her, and up comes the man. Remember when you broke my face? Well, Lynch kicks Jax in the ribs and punches her and lays her out, and that was fucking great, wasn't it?
It was awesome.
Fantastic.
Next up is the WWE Championship, the new Daniel Bryan, who is doing a phenomenal job as a heel right now, against AJ Styles. These guys, I mean, there's not much to say when you have Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles going 24 minutes, is there? I mean, not much you can say, right? Besides, this is awesome.
This is awesome.
It was absolutely awesome. Easily the best thing on the show, in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah, just how great is Daniel Bryan doing right now as a heel?
He's fucking great.
Man.
I can't really say anything. Say anything more than that. He's fucking amazing. So
what do you what would you? I mean, okay, AJ Styles been on the mountaintop for well over a year. What do you do with him now to keep him relevant? Where would you book him?
My opinion, I'm eager to see how this whole McMahon new change thing goes along, because if that's
actually going to be real change,
yes, if that quote unquote, as I'm throwing up the two fingers, happens the way we would like it to, I think you can't put him in any title pictures. He doesn't really need a title to actually flourish.
No.
So you just give him good matches. You put him against Seth if that's what you want to do. You give us him and a Jeff Hardy or something like that. Put him in good matches. That's what I would do. Matches that we want to see, that we've wanted to see for a long time.
Hey, it was a good start putting him in a tag match with Mustafa Ali. We'll get into that later, but good start. I don't know, long-term feud, it's interesting, do you turn him heel at any point? Not anytime soon, but do you turn him heel sometime in 2019, or do you keep him babyface?
I feel the need not to turn him heel.
He's too piced up. He's a money maker right now.
Between Joe Nakamura, if you're going to keep him on SmackDown, Joe Nakamura and Bryan, they're your heels right there. They're good at what they do.
If we do a shakeup in April, I don't know if that's even in the cards or not. I think AJ will benefit.
There will be.
I think
there will be.
AJ will benefit highly for going to Raw because he's already done the dance with Nakamura and Joe.
I feel the two biggest moves I guess it's one biggest move they could make one person to one person. I would move AJ Styles to Raw, and I would move Finn Balor to SmackDown.
Yes.
Put him back with Gallus and Anderson.
That would be my absolute biggest move right now that I could make to look over that entire roster. If I was to make one move, one wrestler for one wrestler right now, I'd move Styles to Raw, and I would move Finn Balor to SmackDown.
I think an AJ and Randy Orton may be a solid feud. That's about all that's left that I can think of.
Yeah, on SmackDown, that's the only thing that's salvageable.
Unless he becomes like the mentor for Mustafa Ali, if that relationship kind of grows after what happened this week, I wouldn't hate that either, because I know all of us were excited to see that Mustafa Ali is now a member of the SmackDown Live roster.
And based on piggybacking off what Matt just said, you make Finn Balor relevant again on SmackDown to a possibility of him taking the title off of Bryan.
Exactly. That's the match I want to see right now. I want to see Daniel Bryan versus Finn Balor.
Yes, please.
Yeah, exactly. That's the main reason I make the move to begin with, because of that match. That's what I want.
This saddens me. This saddens me to no end, but Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose was very much a letdown, wasn't it?
Like I told
probably my least favorite thing on the show.
Like I told both of you the other day, what Bully Ray said on Busted Open Radio, it wasn't personal enough.
No, that's where the ladder match or TLC would have fit in.
Should have been a brawl. Should have been a brawl.
Right, for you to build that matchup where Dean turns on Seth on the same night that their Shield brother, had to drop the title and tell everybody he had leukemia. And then the interactions that they've had over the past couple of weeks, for it to be just a plain old wrestling match, no.
Yeah, and it was bad placement too, because Becky Lynch chants were starting up during this match. Boring chants were starting up, but Becky Lynch chants were starting up too. And it was not the best placement to put it in. They needed a stipulation so there could be blood, so to speak, hypothetically. It went 23 minutes, and it saddens me to say that it underwhelmed me, because it's two of my favorite wrestlers in the company today, and this should not happen. But It did. Meltzer says Vince was furious over the results. And even Rollins owned up to it in an interview on Raw on Monday. So,
blame your writers.
The only thing we can do is move on, right?
I'd blame the producer of the match, honestly.
Exactly.
I think the producer of the match is tremendously at fault.
It was disappointing, is all I can say. But holy fuck, TLC women. Fucking.
Oh, it was so good.
It lived up to the expectations.
It totally did.
Oh my god, it was so good, so good. And we kind of saw what was coming because Rousey kind of foreshadowed it in her backstage interview earlier in the evening. So we both, she's gonna fuck Charlotte and Becky over, and Asuka's going to the title, and well, that's what happened. I think, I don't know if we all predicted Asuka. Did somebody predict Becky? I predicted Asuka.
I predicted Asuka.
You both predicted Asuka. I predicted Becky.
Okay. But this is just the next step for the women, and culminates at WrestleMania, where the women main event for the very first time. I think you cannot put Lynch and Rousey. You can't have them not close the show, right? It's got to be the last match of the evening.
Raise your hand if you wanted to be Asuka after she got speared by Charlotte.
Ooh.
Oh my.
Ooh.
I'm not saying a word.
That's why I just said raise your hand.
We're talking about a screen cap that was glorious, so to speak. Yeah. What else is there to say about this match besides go watch it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
No pun intended, the evolution of the women. Did you ever, 5 to 7 years ago, I'm asking both of you this honest question. Did you honestly think back then that the women would be main eventing pay-per-views and be this good to where we turn on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or even with pay-per-view and we're looking forward to these matches? We were anticipating the greatness of these matches with the women.
Fuck no. We had a pink butterfly belt, brown panty matches. There was.
I mean, personally, this is what I've always wanted.
What we wanted, but I never thought we would get there.
I think it was actually going to happen.
No,
probably not.
No.
So.
And now we're demanding that this closes WrestleMania. We ain't accepting anything else.
You're not lying, brother.
So Asuka is your champion as the show goes off the air. They show Lynch and Flair pissed off because Ronda fucked them up, fucked their chances of getting the title, and so that's how the show ends. Tremendous show in my book. I give it a solid A. You guys?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
When's the last time the WWE had a pay-per-view where only one match didn't interest you?
And and for how in the hell was it Ambrose and Rollins? That baffles me. The fans, I can't remember the last time A led the grades for our Twitter poll for a WWE
for a WWE pay-per-view. I can't either.
Thanks to everybody that voted. 52% of you voted A. 28% of you voted B. 20% of you voted C. Wait, those add up to 100. Not a single vote voted D or F. Again, that's nuts too.
Wow. I'm sorry, I just read the spoiler for next week's SmackDown.
Wow. DM me that.
Gotcha.
I haven't seen anything worthy of a wow yet.
Oh, yeah, you're going to like it.
You're going to dig it. All right, headlines.
Is it after Hardy and Joe? Because that's as far as I've found.
Yeah, this was just posted like a minute ago.
All right,
I just sent it to both of you.
I'm looking.
I'm actually appreciative of it.
Filibuster while I look, people. Oh, shit!
Whoa!
I did not see that coming.
No!
I didn't either.
I thought that was I thought the placement of that being next week was just a throwaway.
Wow.
Yeah, so did I.
We might need to talk about this at the end of the show.
All right,
we might need to talk about the implications
Let me
of this going into 2019 as well.
I'm putting the Lords of Pain article on the tail end of the SmackDown results so I don't forget. So we will do that. Headlines.
All I'll say is this: if there's a superstar shakeup in April, we know who else might be going to Raw.
Yeah, he's done.
Or he might be going to AEW.
He can go there too.
I'm just saying. We have a lot of stuff to talk about at the end of the show now.
Yeah, so let's get through the headlines. Big news coming out of the fresh new WWE announcement is a lot of NXT stars are making their way to the main roster. Not after WrestleMania, soon. EC3, Heavy Machinery. Of course, we know Lars Sullivan, Nikki Cross, and Lacey Evans. EC3. No brainer. He's been ready. Heavy Machinery, a little bit of a surprise. I love the team, though. I mean,
that was my biggest surprise of the group.
Dozovich is so entertaining. Dozovich could be a star, I think, in the WWE. And so I'm kind of happy for them at the same time. Nikki Cross, she's more than ready. Lacey Evans, I think, is ready, but I thought she would have a run in the main event of NXT.
I'm not surprised by that. I think she's good enough to where she was able to move up. I mean,
she is, yeah.
She's more ready than some other women were when they decided to move them up. In my opinion,
I just don't think they had room for her.
Yeah,
down there.
What do you think of the others with Nikki, Heavy Machinery, EC3?
Nikki was ready. She just needed some when Sanity got called up. When Sanity got called up initially, I just think she probably just needed some more work down there, and she's ready.
Yeah, we said that on the podcast a lot, and I've said it myself on the show. Her with the whole Aleister Black investigation angle on NXT, her character, she added to it by a lot. So,
and I think she'll do very well in the women's division because she's actually one of the better wrestlers.
Are they going to put her with Sanity?
I believe so.
I hope so.
It'd be smart. I mean, they did when she fought Becky on SmackDown. Well, no, I think she fought Becky on SmackDown, right?
It was a SmackDown in the United Kingdom.
Yeah. She came out with Sanity, so I would expect them to.
Which was a great surprise that Matt, what do you think about the call-ups?
I like all of them, but Heavy Machinery. I don't think they're ready.
I don't think they're ready.
But they have a chance. They have a chance to prove me wrong.
Yeah, I don't think they're ready either. I think Dozovich is ready.
I just think they're poor man's.
I don't think either of them are ready.
I just think they're poor man's natural disasters.
Wow.
Ooh.
I'm not a fan at all. They're a generic early '90s gimmick tag team.
I know. I see a lot of good things with Dozovich, though, at least. So, some reaction. The NXT stars reacting to the call-ups. EC3 shows a shot of his ass, giving the people what they want. # Raw. That doesn't mean he's going to Raw. That's just because it aired on Raw. Tucker Knight, my brother Dozovich, and I have been living stakes and weights life together for 2.5 years. We formed the unit Heavy Machinery, and the goal for us was to always be on Raw or SmackDown. Blue-collar boys are hungry, and we're coming to eat. And I think old Dozovich let the cat out of the bag that they're going to SmackDown. Lacey Evans says, I'm coming and bringing class, y'all. # blessed. Lars Sullivan, what a beautiful family moment to kick off Raw. You think Shane sweats a lot? Wait till you see the freak of nature Lars Sullivan is coming very soon. I look forward to introducing you all of my brand of belligerence. I see people not excited for Sullivan, and I'm wondering why. Some people think he's bland. I'm like,
I can answer that for you.
Go ahead.
He's the stereotypical Vince guy. He does nothing special. He's just big and huge and can dominate. Yeah. Typical Vince guy. But if they build him up like they did Braun, he'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, I see the cerebral side of what Lars has done, and I don't think NXT highlighted that enough. That he's just not Ryback.
I'm not gonna lie to you. In the beginning, I was one of those fans. Like, I'm not a fan. He's just big, and what this, that, and other. But I actually went on his social media and watched his workouts. That dude's insane.
Yeah. Dozovich posts, Taki, we're coming, and Nikki Cross. Let me try to read this. Where, oh, where will Nikki go? He or ha-ha, red or blue or red, big blue sky or shiny red gem, to a galaxy or a universe, he, ha-ha-ha, follow the yellow brick road, oh my. Yeah, that was hard.
Her tweets are out there.
A little bit. Oh, what a proud auntie, Dixie Carter. So proud of you,
I loved this.
So proud of you, E. Congrats to the WWE too. Can't wait to watch you hold those major titles in the air. Love you, Aunt D. That was great. Surprising news that apparently has happened a few weeks ago, but Mike Johnson, PW Insider, has noted that Nick Miller from The Mighty has been released. Took place quietly several weeks ago, and the news became public when WWE removed him from the roster on the website. What?
I heard he was open to come back.
The Mighty has
I have to imagine he requested this for personal reasons. That's the only thing I can figure.
Yeah, that's what I was told. Like, he requested for personal reason, and they left the door open for him to come back, from what I understand.
Wow, because the Mighty's been featured heavily lately, so... I tell you what, though, Shane Thorne is a hell of a talent. So hopefully he can flourish by himself. While Nick, if he has to take care of things, There's also speculation that Tucker from the NXT UK has been released, as he's been removed from the website, but PW Insider has not been able to confirm that at this time. More big news that came from Monday Night Raw. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are on their way back. And Sami Zayn tweeted regarding his time off, double shoulder surgery is not fun, but I see the whole experience as a gift. Time off wrestling gave me perspective about myself and the world around me. Honest introspection and critical reflection is so valuable, and it costs nothing. To heal the world, we must heal ourselves. And later on, I will give you his reaction to the vignette that was posted. But how excited are you guys to see vignettes for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens again?
I was very surprised to see the Sami Zayn vignette.
Yeah, me too.
I was even more surprised to see the Kevin Owens vignette after that dude just had double knee surgery. I'm absolutely thrilled. I am absolutely ecstatic to see them come back. I think it's great. I think it's long overdue because the show has needed some KO and Sami Zayn lately.
Agreed.
And I'm super happy that they're back.
I would bring them back as baby faces to challenge guys like Drew McIntyre. Just my opinion, because they're gonna get cheered like fuck when they come back. So, I would maybe this is after McIntyre has had and lost his Universal title shot. Put Sammy and Kevin over, either one of them over on Drew after that point. Sammy, after the vignette aired, he goes, during this time off, I've been working on becoming a better person, letting go of a lot of the toxic elements that come with egotism and ambition. But I just watched that teaser for my return on Raw and remembered how good I am at pro wrestling. I actually forgot how great I am. Then Bray Wyatt was tweeting on Monday.
Yeah, he was.
That was creepy.
My gut feeling is it's a gimmick change. He's no longer
that's exactly what I was feeling too.
Yeah,
I think some people really were really stretching.
Thought he was saying
on
goodbye.
what he was saying, like he was committing suicide or something. I didn't see it that way at all.
Oh.
When people started saying it, I'm like, I don't know, guys. Bray Wyatt tweets weird shit all the time. I really didn't see it as anything out of the usual until people started losing their minds over it.
After final battle went off the air, after the Bucks and SCU recovered from their bumps, the crowd chanted for each of the teams, "Please don't go." A huge a huge elite chant for the Bucks. All four saluted the crowd. Kazarian bowed to the fans. Nick Jackson grabbed the microphone, said Hammerstein is his favorite arena to wrestle in. Matt said as Skrull, Cody and Paige joined them in the ring. Matt said this wasn't going to be some emotional farewell speech or anything like that. Talked about starting in ROH 10 years ago and asked the fans if they could believe that. He said the last 2-year run has been the best time of his life. Thanked Kerry Silkin and hugged him. And without him, none of this would have been possible. Matt said he wanted to tell everyone in the ring that he loved him from the bottom of his heart. The crowd chanted for the Elite. Matt thanked Joe Koff and Greg Gillian. I don't know who that Gillian dude is, but I'm assuming he's high up the chain.
Yeah, he's high up within the company. And hey, fuck Joe Koff.
Nice.
I'm sure his petty ass had something to do with. Matt. Yeah, I agree, dude. I'm sure his petty ass had something to do with what happened at the end of that show in Philly Saturday night. So yeah, I'm with you now, dude. I was pro Joe Koff till Saturday night. Now Joe Koff can go fuck himself.
Matt said,
I didn't warn you.
Matt said the timer's running. Tick, 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 tick. And what's going to happen, who knows? He told the fans, perhaps watch their YouTube series. And the fans started chanting, all or nothing. So there you go. That was how Final Battle went off the air. A lot more happier than the TV taping.
Well, that wasn't even on the air.
No. It was
like the whole... Yeah, I wish they would have put that on the air. I rather would have seen that.
Yeah. This was after the pay-per-view, not the TV taping. The TV taping, a whole different story that we already talked about.
Bastards.
One of the first non-major pay-per-views has been announced for WWE in 2019. Fastlane will be held at the Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Unfortunately, last week's SmackDown could not get out of that 2 million rut. They still stayed at 1.97. Impact, hey, they got a few more people. 140,000. That's actually a lot more people.
That's pretty impressive, honestly, for that time slot. They're regaining their audience little by little, and I got to give them props for being able to do that. Their TV product hasn't been bad the past few weeks either.
Well, Mike Johnson said that when he talked about the tapings. He said, "This is a good fucking set of tapings," and hey, Elite leaving Ring of Honor, Impact maybe Impact steps up their game and gets some momentum and gets a new TV deal and maybe can get better.
There's no time like the present for Impact to try to reclaim the number two promotion spot in North America right now. Exactly. They have all the opportunity in the world to do it. Will they capitalize on it and make it happen? Only time will tell.
Of course, we now record the show on Tuesday, so we don't have SmackDown numbers, but we do have Raw numbers, and of course with the hyped return of Vince McMahon coming back, that did get some interest. 2.57, that shot way up. The highest ratings since September 17th, by the way. 2.7 million in that first hour as well. After the great match that Mustafa Ali had with Daniel Bryan last week on SmackDown, he took to Twitter, said last night on SmackDown Live, the guy was an alternate in the Cruiserweight Classic and stood toe-to-toe with the WWE champion. Dream on, dream on. And now that guy can say he pinned the WWE champion, huh?
And unfortunately, almost injured the WWE champion in the process.
Yeah, I heard it. I'm sorry. I heard it. I'm sorry at the end of that. If you listen.
Yeah, I've got a report here from Fightful. Daniel Bryan main event another SmackDown Live, but suffered a scary blow at the end of the match. Bryan was pinned by SmackDown Live newcomer Mustafa Ali in a tag team match, which also featured AJ Styles and Andrade Cien Almas. At the end of the match, Mustafa Ali hit the 054 finisher, an imploding 450 splash, and dropped his knees across Bryan's throat and collarbone area and ribs. Ali could be heard checking on Bryan immediately.
Yep.
Bryan was adamant backstage, saying that he was okay as he went through the curtain, although many in the backstage feared the worst. Mustafa Ali was said to be very apologetic, even beyond what you heard in the ring. Bryan and the referee of the match were then taken back to the trainer's room to evaluate the incident. There was a mad dash to move on right after the show as WWE had to film another episode of SmackDown Live. Roughly 30 minutes after taking a knee to the neck and ribs, Daniel Bryan did a segment interrupting R-Truth and Carmella on next week's Christmas edition of SmackDown. So clearly he's okay. Big scare. But Mr. Ali, please be careful of that move. We just got Daniel Bryan back. We don't wish him to die.
Yeah.
Did you guys just get the notification from WWE app?
I uninstalled the WWE app.
Let me look at my phone. I got one from Supercard. Claim my free pack now. I don't have...
It just pretty much exposed what I just shared.
WWE just tweeted in all caps, spoiler alert, there is major news coming out of the tapings for next Tuesday's Christmas night edition of SmackDown Live.
Oh, I just got the Twitter notification. I don't have
that was it.
Yeah. But they didn't spoil it, did they? We'll spoil it at the end of the show. So, hold on, playa. Becky Lynch and Corey Graves have been getting into it lately. You can tell Corey Graves is getting a little butthurt on the commentary, huh?
Yeah, I'm losing my patience with his commentary. I used to really like his commentary. Now it's just coming off across as grating and annoying.
The man says, so Graves been saying I'm too cocky. I talk too much on social media like it's a bad thing. I drum up more interest in one tweet than you do with your 5 hours of Heenan light routine every week. Listen, I'm here to make history. You're just here to observe me to do it. Oh, the fucking man. Gotta love the man.
You're not wrong.
And what is hopefully the start of further things from the WWE Network. One of the hidden gems that was... I got a bunch of hidden gems to show you here this week, but one of them in particular was the... I believe this is the debut of Dean Ambrose in FCW when he takes on Seth Rollins in a 30-minute Iron Man match. Which I hope they start putting a lot of FCW out there, man. That'd be great to watch that stuff. But that hidden gem section continues to add some good shit, and so you can check out Ambrose and Rollins, which I want to think it's Ambrose's debut, but don't quote me on that. The Page film Fighting with My Family. It's been announced that it's been pushed back a week. And it'll premiere on February 8th instead of February 1st. Or actually, I'm sorry, February 14th instead of February 8th. So, hey, there you go. Take your Valentine out to see Paige's movie.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll go over well.
Not over here.
Well, I guess the Valentine would get to watch The Rock, because apparently he's heavily featured in the movie, so maybe they wouldn't be so upset.
Update on Sin Cara, who's been out of action since August. He's been... working out at the Performance Center, getting ready for his return to the ring. Good news for Rey Fenix. We thought he might have been out a little longer with the groin issue, but it sounds like Phoenix is going to return very soon. So that's some good news.
I'm sure Impact's happy about that. They freaking wanted him for. He's booked for that. Him and Pentagon are scheduled to fight the new LAX for the tag titles at Homecoming. So
yeah, looks like he's going to make that. When is Homecoming, by the way?
Like January 6th, I think. I think January 6th, somewhere around there, or whatever that Sunday is.
At the time the injury occurred, that looked iffy, but yeah, it's looking
January 6th.
It's looking a lot better now. Day after Christmas, WWE is going to return to Madison Square Garden for their post-Christmas tradition. And the updated card currently features Rollins and Ambrose in a steel cage match. Hey, why did you do that at TLC? Rousey against Nia Jax for the women's. I don't even know if these are for the titles, so we'll just say the matches here. Gable and Rude against AOP. John Cena is going to appear with his weird hair. Triple threat: Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler, Finn Balor. Bobby Lashley against Elias. Pete Dunne, Ricochet, Aleister Black, Velveteen Dream will take on the Undisputed Era and Tommaso Ciampa. That'll steal the show, I bet. Riot Squad, Mickie James take on Bayley, Ember Moon, Sasha Banks, and Natalya. Head over to PW Insider. Go back to the 13th of December if you want to see a whole list of people that tried out for the Performance Center. There's a long fucking list. So I don't even know who stands out. So
to me, the biggest standout is Penelope Ford.
Penelope Ford, yeah, which we mentioned on the show last week.
Yep.
World Class Championship Wrestling. Even more of that has been added to the WWE Network as Christmas Star Wars from 1981 was just recently added to the network. It features Ernie Ladd against Jose Lothario, and the Great Kabuki takes on Fritz Von Erich in a Texas death match. Kerry Kevin and David Von Erich take on Frank Dusek, Bill Irwin, and Ten Ju, and there's also a 2-ring battle royale. So if you like that classic wrestling, World Class was a great promotion. Go check that out. Another hidden gem for the WWE Network, AWA Christmas Night, 1981, which features Jumpin' Jim Brunzell and Greg Gagne taking on Jerry Blackwell and Sheik Adnan Al-Kassi. As WWE Network is pimping 12 days of hidden gems. That's why we got so many hidden gems. The continued work with Evolve in WWE is continuing on as it is announced on January 18th and 19th in New York City. Johnny Gargano will appear when Evolve returns to the city there. Cody in his tweet bidding farewell to Ring of Honor says, thank you to all the fans. Thank you to a wonderfully talented locker room. Thank you to an outstanding crew of production top to bottom. Thank you, Joe Koff. Thank you, Greg Gillian. Thank you, ROH. I needed shelter from the storm, and you gave me a home for the past 2 years. Beautiful experience.
I think that was a typo. I think he meant to say, fuck you, Joe Koff.
Oh. Well, that's what you said, Matt.
Oh, okay, my bad.
But hey, it enabled you to say it.
My bad, dog.
It enabled you to say it again. If you want to say it another time, go ahead. Go ahead.
I guess that has that way of working out.
You want to say it again? Go ahead.
I might before the show's over. We'll see how it goes.
Your final thought?
Maybe.
Fuck.
Are you giving out spoilers, JB? Some bitch.
It's our last show before Christmas, and Matt's final thought's going to be not Merry Christmas, but fuck you, Joe Koff.
Now I have to think of something else because you fucking stooged me out, you son of a bitch.
Hey, I was trying to get you to say it now, man. Bandito, you remember him from? You remember Bandito from All In? He was part of that 6-man tag match with the Bucks that took out. God, who else was in that match?
Mysterio, Ray Phoenix.
Thank you. Bandito signs with Ring of Honor, according to Lucha Blog, and it's going to be an exclusive. So Bandito is going to be there to stay for however long he signed.
Hopefully not long.
He's probably hoping the same as well. More stuff added to the 12 days of hidden gems on the WWE Network. AWA match, Nick Bockwinkel taking on Billy Robinson. Hulk Hogan and Tito Santana taking on Ken Patera and Bobby Duncombe. That had to be AWA as well, I would guess. Excuse me, based on the year. There's a 1982 match between Bobby Heenan and Rick Martel. If you guys don't know, Bobby Heenan was a hell of a wrestler before he became a manager. So
yeah, before he got hurt.
Yeah. So I want to definitely go back and watch that. There's also a Ken Patera match that was added in the hidden gems as well. Yeah. Let's see what you guys react to this. But Mike Johnson, PW Insider, says it was an emotional scene backstage at the 2300 Arena after the Elite worked their last scheduled match for Ring of Honor at the TV taping this past Saturday. There were quite a few people tearing up after everyone returned to the back, and it was really seen as an end of an era by a lot of wrestlers that they were spoken with.
No, that doesn't surprise me at all. It still doesn't change the fact of how shitty they were treated at the end of that night. I'm sure there were some wrestlers there that were emotional about it. And I'm sure the members of the Elite were emotional about it. You know, they've done a lot of stuff for that company. They busted their ass to make, Ring of Honor as big as it's been over the past couple of years. And let's face it, if it wasn't for the Elite and New Japan helping them out, they would not have reached the massive success that they have had right now. So, yeah. Fuck Joe Koff.
You could have given us the guy. You could have gave the fans the opportunity to get emotional too. Damn it, shit.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Dude, I wanted to cry.
Yeah, exactly.
I ain't even gonna lie. I was hoping the Elite was gonna bring me to fucking man tears. In the ECW arena.
I honestly thought they were gonna leave the ring, go circle around, the crowd, and tell everybody bye. That's what I was looking forward to. You know what I mean? But no, I didn't get that. I got fat ass Bully Ray telling some woman daring some woman to hit him.
So ridiculous. And don't get me wrong, I love Bully Ray, and I know he's just doing his job.
Yeah.
But I fucking hated that thing so much.
Remember what I told you, Matt? On the ride to Philly, Joe Coff's a dick.
You did, and I didn't believe you, but I do now.
I introduced Matt to Joe Coff and everything.
How long is your drive?
About 2 hours.
Two and a half hours.
So it was raining pretty bad.
Long. So that was a long, but it was a long drive home, wasn't it?
Yeah, because of the weather and everything, and we were just tired. It was a long day.
Tired of Joe Coff's shit.
Yeah, like I messed around and told Matt that Joe Coff was a dick. He's like, oh yeah, he's a good guy, blah 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 blah. Next thing you know, we're at the bar,
fuck Joe Coff,
chit chatting, and I was like, let me bring Joe Coff over there. I was like, hey, how you doing, Joe? Says something to me and Matt. I was like, he's such a fucking dick. And now you see the quote of this podcast for the night is, fuck Joe Coff.
If I put profanities in the titles of the podcast, that might be the title of the podcast. But I for once,
don't. No.
I'm joking. Hold on, let me finish. But anyways,
we never let you finish.
Okay. If you're take that many ways, people. I don't know what way you want to take it, but take it many ways. Of course, one of the budding promotions. It's fairly entertaining. MLW, Major League Wrestling. BN Sports, if you have it. If you don't, maybe do a little search on your cable or satellite, see if you got it. Because if you do, and you haven't got a taste of MLW, you'll get a nice taste of it on New Year's Eve, starting at 6 a.m. Eastern, as there will be an MLW marathon on BN Sports. And Matt and I both watched a fair share of MLW, and it's an entertaining TV show for what it is, right, Matt?
Wrestling at 6 a.m. We're wrestling at 6 a.m. Ain't nobody got time for that.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Whatever.
If you're a fan of comic books, the Netflix original series Glow is going to be coming to comic books.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Being the Elite, episode 130, called, as Matt said earlier, Leaving the Territory. And
yeah, you can make me go back and watch that thing again after we get off of here.
Yeah, you were trying to yell at me for thinking of the exact...
Look, hey, and I put you over afterwards, pal.
I know you did.
I put you over.
I know you did.
We put you over.
Matt and Nick.
And I don't put you over a whole lot, but I put you over there.
That's sure as fuck
so,
right. 4 years of doing this, you sure as hell don't put me over much.
Well, I put you over there. So you're over now, brother.
So Nick and Matt are in the... it's amazing. Every time H shows up, it goes black and white. It's just amazing. They're in the hotel room, and H shows up and spits in their face with his bottle of water, and Matt hands a contract to H, what we thought was a contract, but he hands it to H, and then they do the obligatory Triple H photo pose, right? The NXT photo pose.
Yep.
I thought that was funny because there's nobody taking the picture, but that's how Being the Elite started this week. We catch up in Japan with the Bucks, and they're having a little lunch with Fat Ass Masa, and we learned a great tidbit that Fat Ass Masa outsold a lot of legends with his T-shirt on Black Friday. Which, how great is that?
Dude, Fat Ass Masa cracks me up, man. I like that dude.
He fucking outsold some legends on Black Friday. That's just great. Then we get our our little road diary from the Bucks before we look at this like cesspool. It's like under a train bridge or something, and oh, look who it is. It's SCU.
SCU.
And welcome back, SCU, to Being the Elite, by the way. The blood transfusion was a success, and we got our old SCU back, didn't we?
It's good times, brother. It's good times.
Since we got the old SCU back, Matt, you want to give us your Scorpio real quick? Pretend Joe.
This is the worst town that I have ever been in.
I was like, if you needed a little motivation, if you were hesitant to do so, I was going to say just pretend Joe Koff is the worst promoter and just go that route. But it's so good to see SCU back on being the elite. And hey, well, that's not all from SCU, is it? Oh, what? Okay, have we figured out what this candy bar thing is yet with Matt and Scorpio?
Not yet.
Just fucking funny.
It is. Is it just hilarious? Is it just a running pun?
It's funny.
Is it just a running pun?
Yeah, I think that's honestly. I think that's all it is.
Scorpio dropped something and called himself a Butterfinger. So there's Matt with a Butterfinger.
Dude, when he said "give me a break,"
give me a break.
I died.
And then he said "score." I'm like, oh, he's got a score with him too. Flip. I guess he's got the world in his hands. I don't know.
Flip.
What's he doing? What's he doing with an inflatable globe? Is he got the world in his hands right now or something?
He stole Bray Wyatt's gimmick.
So Cody gives him a hug, congratulate him from grabbing those brass rings. I can't remember what he said. I fucking hate you or something like that. Kind of something like that.
I want you to fucking die.
Yeah, I want you to fuck. Yeah, that's even worse than I fucking hate you.
It's like I'm pretty sure the exact quote was, "I hope you fucking die."
I think you're right.
I love Cody.
I bust out. I just lost it because that's not what I expected him to say.
Not at all.
I thought he was gonna say "fuck the revival."
Yeah, I did
or
too.
something like that.
Yeah.
And when he said "I hope you fucking die," I lost it.
That shit was so random.
If you go back and rewatch, just watch Cody's face throughout that whole segment. It's like there are times where he's trying to be mad and he can barely keep it together. So the big thing was they're extending. He grabbed the brass rings. Oh, I just watched him mouth those words. It is "I hope you fucking die," by the way. They were extending an invitation that he's been wanting to join the elite. Flip's like, I wanted to join the Bullet Club. That didn't go over well, did it?
As it shouldn't have.
Not at all.
Big thumbs down for me, Flip.
And Flip eats a couple of super kicks, a little hangman lariat, a little hangman forearm, and then they what do they all yell when they're standing over him? I can't remember. Enjoy Ring of Honor or something like that.
Well, they normally welcome the Ring of Honor, and I think that's probably what they said or whatever.
They said enjoy Ring of Honor.
Enjoy Ring of Honor. Yeah, because they're leaving.
And then Kazarian comes in the background and said, "Bitch."
I saw that, and then they tease a Meltzer driver on the concrete where like he climbs up the little dolly, and the great thing is that Nick was like fake egging on the crowd, like he always does for the Meltzer driver. They obviously didn't do a Meltzer driver because that would be a little dangerous. They just kind of ended scene there, but you know what I mean.
End scene.
Marty Scurll tried to make nice with Arthur and Trevor. Is that?
Yes, Arthur and Trevor. You got it.
Arthur and Trevor, and he invited him to his New Year's Day party, but
this shit was funny as fuck.
they got shit going on, and that was great when they went into the finger pointing fest with all three of them. Was it like a fuck you finger pointing fest kind of?
Pretty much.
The Bucks take us backstage. Well, not backstage. They're actually on the stage, but as Ring of Honor Final Battle getting set up. So they're talking about how they're getting ready to do their last pay-per-view. They show Hangman starting to grill Cody and the Bucks about what they're going to do, talking about the letters from H. And then we see H actually read what we thought was the contract. And although this was a difficult decision, we watched an episode of Raw and saw what you did to the tag division. I know this is business, but as the saying goes, never say never. But for now, we wish you your best in your future endeavors. And then the Bucks.
See ya.
And then the Bucks super kick Triple H, and he does a Family Guy extremely long sell of.
It wasn't a Family Guy.
That wasn't
Triple
Family
H
Guy.
has actually done that before.
Yeah, he's done that. He's done that in the ring when he was with Evolution.
Shot standing on the ring apron, like fall, hurry up and fall, and Triple H just they did it like for what was like felt like forever.
Yeah,
they were playing off of.
It just reminds me of Family Guy when they do things that go on and on and on. But yeah, then he finally does the Ric Flair flop, which was pretty funny. And all of a sudden, after he did that flop, everything turned to color again. Amazing. They take us backstage at Final Battle, just kind of talking about saying their goodbyes and such. It was kind of weird seeing Flip walk up on the camera and then walk right back. It was like after his match. He's like, "Oh, I don't want to be on camera." Did you guys notice that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, when he
he was walking in because he was part of the match.
No,
like that was before. It was right before the match.
Oh, I thought this was.
But that was right before. That was right before they did the 8-man.
Oh, I thought this was still at.
And Flip was in the match.
Oh.
No, that was in Philly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was in Philly because Jay Briscoe walked past them too.
Yeah, and they did a pretty cool montage of Nick and Matt looking over the 2300 arena, and they cut in scenes of the 8-man, and then they showed Cody and Hangman and the Bucks just kind of staring at the ring that's already been torn down, and one last look they take in before walking off with the money shakes. So that was the end of Being the Elite, or was it? We fast forward to Los Angeles, LAX, and this is the best town I've ever been in. As they talk about all the great things that they want to do in Southern California while they're there, but all of a sudden we hear a noise. Uh-oh. And that pretty much solidified it, right, guys?
Solidified it for me.
SCU!
I kind of marked the fuck out, honestly.
SCU! That's great. NXT last week kicked off with a grudge match between Bobby Fish and EC3. Of course, Bobby Fish put EC3 on the shelf, quote-unquote shelf, for a month. But EC3 got his revenge on Fish there. This is before we learned that EC3 is going to be get the call up. The Undisputed attacked EC3 after the match, and Heavy Machinery made the save. So yeah, we're thinking Heavy Machinery is going to be the next challengers for the Undisputed Era. I guess that's still possible, but why now, right? I don't because the only thing that was really set at Takeover Phoenix, the only thing that was really set on the last set of tapings was the NXT Championship, right?
Yep.
So obviously, I think they're going to have to do a little swerve now, right? Because they're obviously building Heavy Machinery up for that, but now it ain't going to be. Who do you have take on? Do you? I
think they just do Heavy Machinery and they do the job on the way out the door.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, I can see that too. Lorcan and Birch took on the Mighty, which again, before we learned that Nick Miller is no longer with the company, and Lorcan and Birch continue their hot streak. That's another team you could probably put in if they decide to go a different direction from Heavy Machinery. Next week, we learn that Johnny Gargano will face Aleister Black inside the steel cage. And Johnny cuts a little promo there. Number one contender match for that fatal four-way to determine the next competitor to face Shayna Baszler in Phoenix. This was Mia Yim against Reina Gonzalez. Pretty quick match there with Mia getting over. No surprise there. And the main event of the evening, Ricochet has an open contract for his NXT North American Championship. And who answers but Tyler Breeze? How cool was that, guys?
That was cool.
It was great. And I really feel like it's the beginning of what Triple H has been talking about for months now. about NXT becoming its own, brand, not a developmental territory, but a brand where wrestlers can go from Raw and SmackDown to NXT, and it doesn't feel like a demotion.
Exactly.
I feel like we're getting to that point.
Do you guys think this performance against Ricochet led to him challenging Dean Ambrose this week?
Yeah.
That led management.
I would think so.
Led management to put him in that position, and he looked good against Ambrose too. It wasn't a squash.
I really thought Rollins was going to interfere and cost Dean the title.
I mean, if we were
I feel like that feud doesn't need
a rematch. Well, there's no rematch clauses now.
Well, no, I just feel like that feud doesn't need the Intercontinental Championship.
That too.
And I feel that would have been better off going on somebody else.
Well, I completely agree. It would have been better booking, and we all three of us said it on Twitter as things were happening. We thought, oh shit, he's going to be in the right gear, and Breeze is going to be Intercontinental Champion on this new, fresh Monday Night Raw. But instead, Seth waited till the end of the match. But yeah, we'll get into that a little later. But
Seth, you greedy bastard! You couldn't help Tyler Breeze win the Intercontinental title.
I know, man. Help a brother out.
You greedy bitch. You greedy Seth Rollins bitch.
I mean, look what he did to the Shield in 2014. I mean, what do you expect?
He made up for it, damn it.
He's a greedy bitch.
Hell of a match, though. Hell of a match with Ricochet and Tyler Breeze, though, huh?
Agreed. No, I love that match.
Yep.
And Full Sail was happy to have Prince Pretty back. That's for damn sure. Monday Night Raw, we saw it on Twitter like a day or two, maybe 3 before. I don't know. I think it was before.
Several days before. It was late last week.
Oh, I thought it was right before TLC. But anyways,
late last week they announced the old man was coming to Raw.
Pimping the old man coming back. Old man comes out and talks about how asks him, so what's going on with Monday Night Raw? Well, the creative sucks. Oh, sorry, Vince. It's just me talking. Vince says Raw's been on the air for 25 years, which is extraordinary. That is a fact. It's extraordinary. He says one of the reasons for their success is they change with the times. I don't know if
respectfully disagree.
Yeah,
you haven't changed your format in 20 years, Vince.
Nope.
He says, despite one man's brilliance, one man's creativity, one man's vision, he can't do it all by himself anymore, which led me to believe, my prediction comes true. He's going to focus on the XFL and GTFO. Instead,
that would have been nice.
Instead, he introduces Stephanie McMahon, and the fans boo her, and Vince says, "Be nice," which I told Matt, anytime Darryl and I on the show say something bad, he's got to step in with his Vince voice and say, "Be nice."
Be nice. Assholes.
Triple H came out. He was cheered because, well, he's the savior of the company, basically. He gives old Steph a hug and Vince a hug, even though Vince's like, God damn it, Paul. I don't want to hug you on camera, Paul.
He looked so annoyed by it.
He did.
He's like, come here, big guy.
And Shane McMahon came out to a gigantic pop. And basically the gist of it is, hey, fresh start. New faces, new matchups. The fans are the authority. Like I said in the open, it's basically the McMahons are in charge. They're just not assholes anymore. That's basically what it's going to be. And, and I said on Twitter, I go, hey, it's all good coming out of your mouth right now, but, it took a while for us to really even see it on Raw this week, if at all, right?
It was a good show, but I don't feel like we saw true
change. No.
Change/shake-up that they were talking about. And honest to God, I don't need a quote-unquote shake-up or a change. Just give me a good fucking product, and that will be enough change for me.
Yeah. Corbin came out to bitch about what happened at TLC, and Triple H goes, let me be predictable here. This, and this. And Corbin was like, you're exactly right. It was so funny that he said Triple H is exactly right after he says, you're going to be predictable here. It was kind of funny that he agreed with Hunter there. They decided to put it to a McMahon vote for Corbin and Power. No. Vince is like, wait a minute. So they huddled up and, good idea.
Vince did a Booker T impression?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. I've been talking for 2 hours, so maybe that's part of it. That's a good idea. Okay, all you got to do is beat Kurt Angle. Big pop for Kurt Angle. Always good to see Kurt wrestle.
I was hoping Lars Sullivan was going to come out and squash him.
I thought that was it.
That's why I was hoping they were going to debut Lars there, and he was going to come out and just flatten Baron Corbin. I think that would have been a great way to debut him.
I was with you there. I thought that was what was going to happen, but obviously he's probably going to be a heel. So, the special guest referee was Heath Slater. Then, there's a new stipulation. There's a new stipulation. It's basically a play off of TLC. And so I heard a couple friends of mine say they hated this segment. I liked it. I thought they took something that was fun at TLC and closed the door. I liked it. What did you guys think?
It was okay.
It was fine. I thought it might have went on a little too long.
Yeah, it did take
like if you attach the segment and that together into one gigantic segment, I felt it might have taken a little too long.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was fine for what it was. I've seen much worse on Raw as of late.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly. Following the attack at TLC, we got Balor and Ziggler. They had a pretty damn good match for about 10 minutes until McIntyre ruined the show, as we all know that it's going to lead to a triple threat next week. Dean Ambrose came out and was talking about, talking about you people and being pissed off.
You people.
Yeah.
What do you mean, you people?
That's the staple of a heel, because Daniel Bryan says it all the time too. He challenged Seth Rollins to come out and burn it down. No answer from Seth, so he goes, I'm going to do an open challenge, and anybody but Seth Rollins can answer. That's when, surprisingly, Tyler Breeze showed up and gave Ambrose a decent 8-minute match with some good offense and actually some near falls. As we just mentioned, I think it was a direct reaction to how well he did against Ricochet, and he did well against Ambrose. I think this is one of those examples where Vince, I think, even used the word suffocating, and there's a lot of NXT guys that were being suffocated after the call-up. Breeze is a prime example, isn't it? He's a guy.
Yeah, I hope they're gonna be legitimate with him going forward. I really do.
He's a guy could easily be Intercontinental Champion. He could easily be NXT Champion. Yeah, let's see what happens. Charlie Caruso interviewed Shane McMahon, talking about the fresh start when Drake Maverick interrupted and talked about how their tag titles got stolen and last week, and Shane said, well, that rematch clauses are antiquated. You know what? I don't hate that. I don't hate the fact that there's not a rematch clause for the most part anymore. Because 9 times out of 10, that rematch ends with the title holder still retaining. That
pretty much
doesn't give you any intrigue at all. So I'm perfectly fine with no rematch clauses. Matt?
Yeah, I don't really have an issue with it either way, to be honest. I really don't think that was something that needed to change, but if they want to freshen things up a bit by not having mandatory rematch clauses, sure, let's see how it goes.
They showed the video packages for everybody that's coming to NXT, from NXT to WWE main roster. Bobby Lashley in the ring with a guitar that was broken over Elias at TLC, and they did what heel things do and whatnot, and we got that pose that Vince loves when Lashley bends over. Elias got his heat back though and clocked Lashley with a guitar, which he basically no-sold.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
It was a delay.
Then came the big surprise that Sami Zayn's coming back soon. We all were happy when we saw that. Shane had announced to AOP that this was going to happen, a 4 corners tag team match. Winner gets to face the tag champs Gable and Rude. I think was that on the Christmas Eve edition, or is that to be?
Yeah, it's on the Christmas Eve edition.
Lucha House Party, AOP, B Team, and Revival, and thank God the right team won here, right, guys?
Mm-hmm. About time.
Another team that's been buried under the shit that's been WWE creative is the Revival. Just look at the Lucha House rules. So it's good to see.
I'd rather not.
I know and those are banned now, Matt. So that's one good thing the McMahons have done.
When did they say they were banned?
During the match, Corey Graves mentioned. Corey Graves
didn't even remember hearing that.
Yeah, Corey Graves mentioned it during the match that Lucha House rules are no longer a thing.
I'm not complaining.
Me either. I'm excited. I'm excited. I wasn't excited with Gable and Rude until finally they look like a tag team and act like a tag team. I still just thought it was a catalyst for Rude to turn heel. And
I think it originally was. I think they changed roots.
Probably because tag division's so shitty.
Pretty much. They must have watched being the elite.
The tag division is so deep on Raw. I mean, it's so deep on SmackDown, but it's so shallow on Raw.
Yeah. So I'm excited for a Gable Rude revival feud. And thankfully,
I don't know if it's going to actually be a feud, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Seth Rollins was interviewed by Charlie Caruso. That's when he talked about how he admitted that things did not go the way they should have with him and Ambrose in that match. Corbin shows up to blame him for everything that's gone wrong, and Rollins decked him with a punch. That was great. Ronda Rousey comes out. Got a little more booze because of what she did to the man. You don't cross the man, do you?
No.
She didn't come to justify her actions. She came to define what a champion is, and basically saying a real champion is going to show up the next night after a pay-per-view to defend her title. She laid out the challenge, and we cut to Gorilla, where Billy Kidman had to listen to 10 women yell at it in his headset. But then Stephanie walks in and tells him to come to the stage with me. And that led to the Gauntlet match, which was basically the last hour of Raw. And, hey, I think it was a great way for the women to close out that last hour. What did you think, Matt?
Yeah, I liked it. I've always wondered, as a fan growing up, when they do the open challenges, why there aren't more people in Gorilla trying to fight to get their music played to come out and challenge for the championship.
Right.
So I actually liked that they did that, because that's always how I would imagine it should be back there. Everybody should be I want to go out there. I want to go out there, blah, blah. I would just be like, fuck the music. I'm going out there taking the damn match.
Yeah.
But
at the same time, I see the other side of the thing. It always leaves that mystique, like when John Cena had it and all of a sudden Kevin Owens is fucking answering it. So I can see both sides of it. I like how they did the other side of the card for a change, so I totally agree. The big story of the match was Natalya defeated 3 women to win the Gauntlet match, and she'll face her good friend Ronda Rousey next on the Christmas Eve edition of Raw. And I already see people speculating that Natalya's turning heel after this. I don't know. I haven't read the spoilers, but it'll be a good match nonetheless. SmackDown Live, like we said, we're in that new era, that new fresh feeling, like we just came out of the dryer or something. Shane McMahon giving him a pep talk, basically telling that, the GMs are a thing of the past now too, so he thanked Paige for all the great work that she did. And Becky Lynch kicks off the show, says she's not one for these type of pep talks, and wants to discuss Ronnie fucking her chances up of retaining the SmackDown Women's title. She said that when she came over to Raw, she faced Ronnie face to face and then made her tap out in the dressing room. She didn't work too hard to get to where she is, to have some Rowdy Piper cosplayer take it away from her.
That shit was funny.
Woo! Another woman that was wronged by Ronnie was Charlotte Flair. She came out in straight clothes and said, get in line behind the queen. And then that led to Asuka coming out with the title, and she's gloating that she won. And as all the women were bickering, out comes Vinnie Mac. Oh my God, he's got to work on a Tuesday?
And I immediately feared that SmackDown was going to be a terrible show because I knew Vince was backstage.
And it wasn't.
and it turned out not to be. So.
What? That's probably because he probably was hands off. I bet he just let things go as normal.
I've heard actually when back in the Attitude Era when he was a character on TV, he was very hands off most of the product because he was so focused on what he was doing with his character and his segments. That might have something to do with things going forward. If he's a character back on TV again on a weekly basis as part of this like McMahon family regime or whatever, maybe he will be more hands off of the product going forward, and that can only be a good thing for all of us involved.
So Vince said, well, happy holidays to everybody first, and then congratulated Asuka on becoming the champion. And says, asked why Becky is so angry and why Charlotte's making excuses. Anything goes at a TLC match, ladies. Get over it. Take that aggression out on Ronda Rousey. Vince opening that door on Monday night. Hey, come over and invade. We'll be happy to watch. Naomi made her entrance as the one to take on Asuka, and Vince was doing some odd dancing to her music. So we got Naomi and Asuka. Naoma for about 12 minutes. Pretty good match. Hey, you get a title match to kick off SmackDown Live. That ain't a bad thing, is it?
I love me some Naoma.
I know Darryl loves some Naoma.
I sure do.
That rear view.
Absolutely.
Good match, solid match there. Asuka winning predictably. We ain't going to see no title change here.
I was nervous until I found out who her opponent was, and I'm like, okay, she's safe.
The Miz knocking on the McMahon family door, because apparently now their dressing room or their locker room is McMahon family. And Vince opens the door and makes fun of the way Miz knocked. I thought the interaction between Vince...
It was a pussy way to knock, pal.
That's basically what he said, minus pussy.
It's PG, I couldn't say it, but I wanted to.
I thought the interaction...
Miz is a pussy.
You don't see much interaction with Miz and Vince, and I thought this was pretty funny.
You don't see a whole lot of interaction with Miz, with Vince and any of the newer WWE talent. That's what makes it feel fresh.
He doesn't know who they are.
What's your name? I thought this was a funny segment with him and Miz. Then after that segment with Miz, because obviously Miz is trying to get Shane to be his tag partner, so Vince says, you got to prove it. In a tag match, I will pick your partner and the opponents, and you got to prove it. It was then after that we learned the main event of the evening was going to be AJ Styles, Mustafa Ali, Daniel Bryan, Andrade Cien Almas. That's when Tom Phillips said Mustafa Ali is now a part of SmackDown Live. Which we all kind of went, what? We weren't.
Yeah, I'm really worried about what that means for 205 Live in 2019.
Samoa Joe said he was going to come out and apologize to Jeff Hardy for all the things he said, but we all know that was bullshit, and Joe even admitted it was bullshit. It's time for an intervention, and then that led up to Joe trying to attack Jeff, but Jeff hitting the twist of fate, and continue that feud, which I guess will culminate on the taped edition of SmackDown the following week. Miz came out and learned by the announcer that it's going to be a mixed match, mixed tag match. Man, that kind of threw Miz off for a loop. But his partner was none other than the wonderful Mandy Rose.
Loved it.
And
it was great.
They took on the reigning mixed match challenge winners, R-Truth and Carmella. And only a couple minutes it took for Miz to hit a skull-crushing finale on Truth to get the win. So, did he impress the boss? We'll see.
Shut up.
Usos came out and said that even though they didn't win the championships, hey, that's all good. We didn't get pinned. And they still got gold on their mind and asked for the bar to come out. But lo and behold, it wasn't the bar that came out. It was the Good Brothers. And much like us, the Good Brothers are tired of being held down. And
the Good Brothers just say, give us a fucking push or we're going to AEW in 2019, bitches.
Right.
Yep. And so the McMahon family from their bunker in the back of the arena said, all right, Usos, Good Brothers, it's a go.
The McMahon bunker.
I can't believe it's been August since the Good Brothers have been on. That's ridiculous.
I think it's been since August since they wrestled a match. I think they've been in like backstage segments or whatever. Yeah. But I think it's their first time they've been like at the ring for a match for 4 months, which is ridiculous.
So we thought, just like Raw, another team's going to break through and claim a win, a deserving team to get up in the tag division. We thought for sure that was what's going to happen. No, SmackDown kind of swerved us because the bar came out. But then all of a sudden, Sanity comes out and attacks everybody. And so just when you thought Gallows and Anderson were going to be the ones kind of get a little push from the fresh angle, Sanity said, "Hey, wait a minute, we're here too."
I still don't count out the fact that they're pushing Gallows and Anderson either. Totally. I think Raw's gonna. I think SmackDown's going to go out of their way to start utilizing their incredibly deep and talented tag team division, and I think it was a good start with both the Gallows and Anderson and Sanity looking strong on this show.
In reaction to Rusev calling Shinsuke Nakamura Sonic the Hedgehog, Nakamura decided to rebut with, "Look at these clips of Rusev on Total Divas," which was I thought it was hilarious. Obviously, because it shows how hilarious Rusev is, but I thought the set of clips there were pretty funny. Basically, Nakamura saying Rusev's not a United States Championship contender.
Sadly, it's probably the first time Vince saw any of Rusev's footage from Total Divas.
Pretty much.
Which we will get into later.
Yep. They announced on Christmas SmackDown that Miz TV will have Shane McMahon as his guest, and Nakamura defends his title against Rusev. Jeff Hardy faces Samoa Joe. Good to get all those out in the open so you know what to expect on the tape shows there. Daniel Bryan. This is brilliant.
Fickle!
Daniel Bryan coming down the ramp when there's a guy in the front row with a sign that says, "Yes, this sign wasted paper," and Daniel Bryan stares the guy down. Love it. Daniel Bryan cutting another great promo about how he killed the Yes Movement and how he's creating a brave new world, and it's how we lead these lives of consumption despite what the info tells us. We're destroying the planet that gives us life. And the people of Fresno are the guiltiest of all because, of course, that's where they are, so they're guilty right now. They're the number one pollution state in the state of California. City and state of California.
Fickle.
They're fickle. Shame! Shame, says Daniel Bryan. And ripped on the fans and talked about them always being at the drive-thru window. Hey, they got In-N-Out Burger, man. Come on.
Overrated.
So that was a great promo by the new Daniel Bryan. Out comes Andrade Cien Almas, who's going to be his tag partner as they take on Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. Or Daniel Bryan. They take on AJ Styles and Mustafa Ali. Very lengthy main event match. Went about 17 minutes. The thing was that we mentioned earlier in the match. Mustafa Ali pinned Daniel Bryan. What?
Mm-hmm.
What? Whoa!
What?
Hey, if those fans that just watch Raw and SmackDown live weren't on the 205 live train and still weren't convinced that Mustafa Ali's a talent when he faced Daniel Bryan last week, hey, putting him over Daniel Bryan tonight kind of puts that on the radar of those people, doesn't it?
I would certainly say so, and I think there's nothing fresher to say new start within the WWE than take a guy like Mustafa Ali and have him pin the WWE champion.
And I tell you what, I bet you Daniel Bryan was probably the first one to suggest it too. I know he has a lot of respect.
Oh, I'm sure he did. Absolutely. I'm sure this was his idea.
He's got so much respect for Mustafa Ali, kayfabe aside. And I mean, we said it on the show last week. I mean, that entire 205 Live roster was at Gorilla watching that match. That shows you how much respect they have for the guy. So to see this happen tonight was aside from the 054 hurting Brian, or nearly hurting Brian. I mean, you could audibly tell him Mustafa was saying "I'm sorry" at the end of that, but
it sounds like it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So thankfully everybody's okay. Hopefully Ali doesn't get punished for that. A hell of a SmackDown Live. We're gonna wrap up shop with our usual closings and such, but then after our closings, we'll go into the spoilers that we're talking about. But for those that don't want to be spoiled next week, thank you for tuning in to Lost in the Midcard. Thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. Make sure you search for Lost in the Midcard and hit that subscribe button so that way you know every time a new episode comes your way every Wednesday, and also some special editions. We are off next week. We will be back on our old day for the first of the year on Thursday, January 3rd, because I'll be out of town on New Year's Day. So keep an eye on our first show of the year. If we get some time between now and then, we may get our Marquee Awards, our fourth annual, third annual, fourth annual. We're somewhere around there. The Marquee Awards for the year, we may get those out then. If not, we'll get them out sometime this next month. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube, and the links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard, or on our Twitter page at LITMC Podcast. Matt's on the Twitter at Raw Showtime. Darryl is on the Twitter at No One Like D. I am on the Twitter at JB Huskers. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Be safe, have fun. We'll catch you in the new year. Darryl, thanks again for joining the show, man. And what are your final thoughts here as we close this year out?
Ring of Honor is going to suck for a while.
Just a little bit. And Matt, what are your final thoughts?
I think as crazy as 2018 has been for professional wrestling, I am waging a guess right now, and I truly believe that 2019 is somehow going to be even crazier.
I
so we should all just buckle up and get ready for, one hell of a crazy ride.
Yeah, I agree. It's insane. So for Darryl Bullock, Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost in the Midcard. And now, if you want to be spoiled, we are going to spoil you. Because what happened after SmackDown went off the air live, well, they taped the Christmas Day edition of SmackDown Live. And lo and behold, Rusev is your United States champion. What?
And for it to happen on Rusev Day, on Christmas Day.
Rusev Day.
Rusev Christmas Jesus Day. I mean,
unbelievable.
His third reign with the United States Championship. Nakamura has held the title since July. Wow.
I think Vince saw that fucking Total Divas footage, had a gigantic belly laugh, and said, wow, this guy's funny. Why aren't we pushing him? Put the United States title on him next week.
Pretty much.
That'd be funny if that is the case.
I swear to God, I think that's what happened.
That would be hilarious.
I didn't know this guy was so funny.
We've been telling you for ever since we've been on the air, Vince.
Shut up.
Be nice. My God. Anything else stick out from the tapings? Obviously, that was a huge fucking thing, but
I didn't think anything else really stood out.
Yeah,
nothing else.
I mean, I really thought both shows were. Look, neither show sounds. Let me put it this way: neither show sounds bad. But they both seem like shows that will be decently watchable. But I didn't think anything of note was going to happen on either of these shows because it falls on Christmas Eve and Christmas. But clearly, I was wrong.
The WWE Universe is in charge now.
Well,
Yeah, we'll see how true that is coming in the next few months. Let's look at that WrestleMania card, and we'll see how much in charge we really are.
Very true.
Do you guys have any faith?
Hey, if we're really in charge, Brock better be dropping that title to Braun at the Royal Rumble.
That's what I was just bringing up. I'm like, you think
he's not?
And why is Braun getting the shaft every time he gets there?
I just hate to see Braun getting beat by
Braun. To me, Braun's got to win.
Why?
Because, like, as I've already said, if Brock fights in the UFC in March, like the UFC wants him to do, and he gets injured, he ain't going to be around to work WrestleMania.
Tell me what.
And that's going to fuck WWE over royally.
Tell everybody what you said about Rollins too. Remember?
I don't see Rollins as a credible challenger to Brock Lesnar anymore after losing to Dean Ambrose clean.
Yeah.
Against the guy that against the same guy who got flattened by Brock Lesnar less than 2 years ago at WrestleMania.
So who wins the Rumble?
The three names I keep hearing right now are Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, and Finn Balor are the three names I keep hearing.
I'm not interested.
So yeah, JB. By the way, Finn Balor wins that triple threat match next week.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh, he's gonna be hot. Oh yeah, he's getting hot.
Yeah, they're pushing him for something right now.
Well, for crying out loud, he should have had another reign with that Universal title by now.
Can we all remember? If Finn Balor wins the Royal Rumble, he ain't got to challenge the Universal Champion.
No.
Finn Balor could challenge Daniel Bryan,
and I would love it.
So I'm all for it. But who challenges the Universal Champion? That's the question.
I am in for that shit. If it's Finn versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania.
So Braun wins at the Rumble. Who challenges Braun at Mania?
Drew.
I don't want to see any. I don't want to see any.
Drew's the hottest heel. He's the hottest and most credible heel. Who else would it be?
Yeah, you're right.
If it's for God.
Why don't you want to see Drew? Why don't you want to see Drew and Braun?
Because I want to see Brock get his ass whooped at Mania.
I don't think Brock's going to be at WrestleMania.
That's the thing. We're saying Braun's
the
title. We're saying Braun wins.
I'm with you.
UFC fight.
I'm with you. This is just my personal thoughts because I can't stand Braun.
We're saying Braun.
I mean Brock. I'm sorry.
We're saying Braun. We're saying Braun wins at Rumble, and it's Braun and McIntyre. It's not Lesnar's not in it. It's Braun and McIntyre at Mania.
I think it'd be a great match.
Lesnar's out of the picture. Lesnar loses at the Rumble.
Then that's what I would do. If I'm WWE, I'm not taking the risk.
Now
I can't count on him to be there at WrestleMania if he goes to the Octagon and gets himself hurt.
God forbid Vince keeps it on Lesnar. You already kind of discredited Rollins. What babyface do you put up there against Lesnar to take the title from him?
It's just personal thoughts. I mean, business wise, no, you're absolutely correct. It should be Balor and Bryan and Drew and Braun. I'm just fed up with Brock going to WrestleMania and defending the title or winning the title, and then he doesn't show up again for 6 fucking months. I just want him to be embarrassed and just his ass whooped.
Yeah, I honestly think with Roman Reigns, with what happened to him, I honestly think
let's face it. Let's say they book Brock on the undercard because they know they can fix that they can fix shit if he survives the Octagon, and they book him on the undercard. Maybe they book the match after the UFC fight when they know he's good to go. They could do Lesnar versus Rollins and let Rollins beat Brock. I mean, hell, they could even go a step further and have the special guest referee be the guy that just whooped his ass in the Octagon, and have the special guest referee be Daniel Cormier.
Oh, that'd be some petty shit.
Yeah, but dude, look, I'm all for being petty for Brock on his way out the door.
Yeah,
I'm with it.
So
my ultimate guess on you're talking all this with no title, right?
Yeah, no title, title. Title's off of him at the Rumble.
My ultimate guess would be that Taker gets his revenge on Brock at Mania and gets that win back.
I already told Darryl who I want Taker to fight at WrestleMania. So.
You did.
Who's that?
You did.
The Rock.
Ooh. Is that
you haven't seen it. You haven't seen it.
Nope.
And I told him, Hall of Fame Saturday night, 2-man show. You induct Taker, you induct The Rock, and then they face each other at WrestleMania the next night.
That'd be epic. That would be epic.
And like me and Darryl talking all the way up to Philly, you need the Hall of Fame's going head to head with the Super Show. You need
gotta compete.
Super strong class to make people want to go to the Hall of Fame Saturday night. And what bigger names could you have than The Rock and The Undertaker?
It makes sense. If you guys paid attention to when Vince was talking to Miz, did you pay attention to what was in the background?
No.
It was a poster for The Rock's new book coming out. And how do you
I didn't even notice that.
If you have it on DVR, you on YouTube or whatever. Next time you get a chance,
I do have it. I do have a DVR, and I will check it out.
Check it out. And you know what WWE likes to do? They promote their shit. So how do you promote their shit? You got to bring that particular person on TV to promote their shit.
True that.
Because I actually, as soon as I saw it, I Googled it. I was like, what the hell is this? It's actually a book about, I guess, I forgot what it's called exactly, but something about, it's probably something saying, but you know, how Rock transitioned from WWE to acting, or whatever the case may be. But it's obvious he's coming back very soon.
The world, are you talking about the world of The Rock?
Yeah, that's it right there.
Yeah, I just Googled it. You see when it releases. Oh, actually, it came out in October. It's already out.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep, it came out October 2nd, according to Amazon anyway.
Yeah, it'll be real interesting to see what the hell's going to go on after this.
It's going to be a couple. It's going to be the next few months are going to be very, very interesting.
Do you think? Obviously, we've been going about 2.5 hours here, or maybe even more than that, almost 3 hours, I think, tonight.
This was a super packed edition because there's no show next week.
Absolutely.
So what triggered this? Was it the shitty Raw rating?
Oh, absolutely.
Are you talking about Rock?
No, what triggered Vince changing things up?
Yeah, absolutely. That's, he's an egomaniac. Like, dude, come on now. Those ratings being that low, and then
there were a lot of publications a few weeks ago that called that episode of Raw the worst episode of Raw in the history of WWE.
And then you got pictures on social media of just empty seats. Shit. Yeah, that just fucked with his ego, real bad.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that the words stay true for more than just a month or two. We'll see. Hey, anything else before we sign off for the year, guys?
Happy holidays to the both of you dudes.
Happy holidays.
You as well, brother, and to all of our listeners as well.
Exactly. Darryl, thanks for joining us. We'll have you on a lot next year.
Thank you, sir. Must appreciate it.
We have a lot to talk about, I think. Next year, as Matt said, it's going to be a very interesting year. But once again, happy holidays. Have a safe, happy new year as well. And thanks for tuning in to Lost in the Midcard. We will be back at you Thursday, January 3rd. Have a good one.